does pale against that number, but still terrific in its own way. So the Bombers disqualified from last year's finals, and those storm clouds still linger. Cause for celebration tonight, though, as they hit Etihad Stadium for Friday night football.
It's great to have Watsons and Danahers and Fletchers out there, isn't it, when it's such a big night for Dustin?
I feel like you're in the time machine.
You do.
So the umpires tonight, Dalglish, Mitchell and Mollison. Not a massive crowd, you've got to say. And certainly a Bomber house. Goldstein coming off a terrific season. Up against Ryder, his 150th. Set to roll. Back in the big chair. They say it's like riding a bike. We're about to find out. The opening bounce. Rucks go at it on the way down. Goldstein got the opening tap. Watson, Heppel. Heppel drives it down towards half forward. It pitches at left half forward and runs on truly. Carlisle goes back. Heard the call. Chapman, too easy. Breaks away from Hansen. High ball towards full forward. Danaher tried to knock it to his own advantage. McMillan arrives quickly. Gets a hand pass away to Antley. Del Santo out of the back pocket. Precision. That's his trademark. Siebel's got the footy.
So Chapman and Del Santo early touches, eh? They'll both be happy with that.
Move it on, play on.
Two terrific players, both making their debuts. Look how nervous they get on a night like tonight. Thompson to Mullet. Lovely left leg, gets it almost to the wing. Good Mark Cunnington. A lot talked about his inside prowess. And that was a good grab.
Move it on.
He's one of a group, isn't he, of that Bastanak, Zeeble, Cunnington, high draft picks that they're expecting so much of. So Hurley too easily there against Black. We've heard from Wayne and also Lee before the match about Hurley and Carlisle and just the fact that they've flipped and flopped this year.
Oh. Thompson getting a free kick.
Scott Thompson.
Seems Bomber Thompson's really set on having Hurley down back, and he does read the play really well. He judges the ball well in the air and positions himself well across half-back, so he started well.
Scott Thompson drives it towards half forward. Well played by Black, and a hand in there. Goldstein, Thomas running in all sorts of lines, trying to get out of trouble, ran himself into trouble. Held to him, bit lucky there, and the umpire will throw it up down towards half forward. The Kangaroos wasting no time. Open towards the middle, as you can see. Ryder laid it down. Stanton ricochets back to Myers. Hooker, Watson out wide. Real chance here for Goddard. Bit of a stumble. Short. The mark is missed by Chapman. Swooping on it, Cunnington. Fifth and the best and fairest last season. The man who tied for that award was taken high. That's Daniel Wells. Takes him a range and one to the other. Kicks it down towards half forward. Zeeble leads back in the race defiantly. Hibbert came up and sends it up wide to Hardingham.
Good stuff, Hibbert. He had the breakthrough season last year. Hardingham, not such a good year for him last year. Just wants to find his feet. And Hibbert again. As Lee said, they're just such a hard team to get a read on us, and they were vying for top spot deep into the season last year. And we know, of course, they fell away. But all the off-field problems caught up with him. So McMillan, here's Harvey, number 9 on the all-time list. Well, that's not a good kick. That's a disappointing kick, and Watson's got it against Wright. So the chopping of the arm. So Watson to Chapman. Dick Reynolds and Paul Salmon had that number before Chappie. He's in good company. Carlisle at centre half forward. Grimer with him. Carlisle on the up. Now Goddard's got a good leg. He tries to lace it out. And some bravery there from the front. And coming from McDonald. The kid, number 21 coming across the front here.
That's great work.
Interesting, the Kangaroos have got Thompson, their best defender, on Danaher and not on Carlisle.
Boundary throw in. Essendon's end. Goldstein just laid it down at his feet. In trouble as Myers wrestled to the ground by Goldstein. That's why he's so good, Goldstein. That second contest, so often it's him. That was a strong tackle that really stopped Essendon in their tracks. Goldstein very conscious of Ryder's lead. Again won it. McDonald's in trouble. At close quarters, he gave it across to a teammate, but it's coming back. McDonald taken low.
I think you'll find with Scott Thompson, Lee, that he'll take the deepest forward.
Nervous kick straight to Chapman. Chapman's long kick. Back over McDonald's head for a goal. Rub it for luck.
it's your first kick in the big time, and you kick it straight to the opposition, back over your head. So I'm sure that Kangaroos teammates will all go to Luke McDonald and tell him to put it out of his mind. But I tell you what, that'll be a challenge to put it out of your mind next time he's got the ball in hand.
Poor old Donald.
It's twofold, isn't it? It's the young fella with his first possession, and Paul Chapman, the three-time premiership hero from Geelong. He's had 3 kicks, 3 inside 50s and a long goal. He started well and just instills some confidence straight to Brendan Goddard, the 2 recruits of the past 2 years who have been part of successful sides. And this is a big game with a big build-up, and they've both started exceptionally well.
And what about Chappie? He kicked 4 goals the last time he played, didn't he, against Port Adelaide?
He looks really fit, Bruce, you've got to say. He's obviously had a great summer. Became a father, young Miles, another father-son to the Cats.
Does he like a goal, Chappie?
Does he like a goal?
Just asking. Well, there you go. He got it. So, number 3 on the board, Watson's been prolific early. So, Essendon with the opening goal here. North haven't had it too deep too often. Merritt off the steps. A couple of Merritts out there. Good mark taken by Danaher. Merritt and Danaher, eh? Not Roger, of course. Got the Merritt brothers out there tonight. Been a long time since we've had brothers play fest, and in fact you've got to go back to the Danahers since that happened. So what about Joe? Now his kicking was a bit wayward last year, but we haven't seen a lot of him, but we know a lot about him, don't we? Right on 52 metres and always skinny.
It's a bit of the Nick Revolts about that mark. He took arms totally stretched out, no bend in the elbow at all, and he's a tall man, so he's taking it the highest point. Very difficult to defend.
McMahon to bring it back in. Certainly he's got a good leg, Danaher. McMahon, ditto, drives it well outside the defensive 50. In from the side, Danaher does the spoiling, knocked it down to Watson. Cunnington got him. Heppel again, brilliant. In goes Thompson, could have been pushed in the back, gets to his feet anyway. Feeds it back, taken by Grimer. Lays it off, out of defence. McDonald kicks it up towards the wing then. In front, knocked down, well not knocked down, he might have taken the mark hooker. Knocked it to his own advantage, better still. Told to play on, goes short, back towards the middle. Myers, looking to switch it. Goes short, Watson. Thomas up quickly. Nobody behind Watson.
Kangaroos got an extra player back in defence. That's why, yes, they're going to have to be precise on the way through.
Hooker goes wide to Bagley. Bagley spots a man on the move. Stanton. This is good by the Bombers here. Goddard touched on the mark, but he still got it. Oh, and then Stanton left it behind. White stood up in a tackle. Got a hand pass across to Hanson. Atley. White has run down. Opportunity for Goddard. Inside the 50. Snaps long. Ryder in best position. And Ryder takes the mark about 5 metres out. Good start by the Bombers.
Just the value of Ruckman, North Melbourne's first push forward. Goldstein tried to take Ryder, and Ryder now pushing forward.
North zoning very deep that time. A lot of free players. About 7 metres out from goal for the Bombers. There's the kick from Ryder. It's a goal.
Well, it was interesting with Wright a moment ago. It's what Watson, I remember going back to Sunday night when Butcher ran Watson down for Carlton. Just took a step too far, didn't he? And they were able to run him down. Ryder in his 150th tonight.
Matty.
It's always good when your ruckman can go forward and take that mark and kick a goal. They've looked good so far, haven't they? Watson's been important.
It's backing out here,
They've started
guys.
the best.
Backing out here.
So it's a great individual contest. The ruckman always try to get forward and make their opposition ruckman defend them, and the first goal almost wins that little contest.
And Ryder wins the tap. Myers couldn't quite. Del Santo clever to Harvey. Tried to break it, couldn't quite. Cunnington, good tackle. Stanton, McMillan's little give. And then Del Santo again. Now Mullet touched on the way through. Heppel, difficult one. Goldstein looked high on Heppel. No free kick. How does the jumper umpire adjudicate a ball up? What a player young Heppel is. I mean, he's top 3 in the best of first last 2 years. 4th season, he's just been superb right from the word go. 3rd man up for North. I must feel like they need a steady. Here we go. Del Santo and Goddard together. The 2 Saints stars over the years. Thomas, little touch up, kick forward, cut off by Hibbert. So McKenzie, Ford and Hibbert.
To the pocket. This is Hurley. Into Mines. Still plenty of time. Hibbert with no one coming from behind, so he dances for a while, then goes to the opposite pocket and hooker. So far the Bombers with all the answers. Hooker out of defence, high ball towards the wing. Grimer came at it. I don't think he affected the contest though. It came off the hands of the man in front and out of bounds.
A lot of kicking over the man on the mark, isn't there? Neither side's been able to really get the ball flowing and just get their movement off the back line. Both structures have been stopping them coming out.
I think Houston's got a problem. Del Santo says he, down he goes. Held to him. Umpire circling, don't like the looks of this. Gone.
The umpire's just looking for an effort. Just wants to see the action of Del Santo trying to get the ball out of the tackle.
So Watson up to 7 disposals halfway through the opening term to Heppel. Good thinker, Heppel. Oh, that's a dangerous kick, but it works. And Watson again. Well, that one missed Bagley, but he's got time to Hurley. And then Hurley sort of caressed it to Zaharakis. Zaharakis at half forward. Neat kick off the boot. Chidena worked his man beautifully. Does he keep it in? Clever. Here's Ambrose. First touch for him, really, to fall forward. Chappie's at the back. You'll back him. He's kicked his second. Uncle Paulie, eh? Doesn't matter what Guernsey's got on. Not sure if they call him Uncle Paulie or not. Doesn't matter, does it?
He just knows where to go in the forward 50, and his direct opponent might have been Luke McDonald. We'll have another look at it in a moment's time, but Chapman just read the flight, stayed down, stayed low. If he gets his hands on the ball and he gets a free shot, in effect a free uncontested kick on goal inside 50, his strike rate would be 7 out of 10, and he has started the game exceptionally well.
That was his first goal, the turnover, but he just read the ball off hands, that last one where he just knew it was probably going to come off, but that's just knowing where the ball's going to go.
Back in the middle, off the line, Goddard, Watson, well done, Howlett, Gleeson, sends it down towards half forward. Ambrose hit the pack hard, split them wide open too. Hocking got it to Watson, comes to Zaharakis, Hardingham right on the numbers. Drifting back, Danaher now wants it long. Carlisle is down there too, but the kick goes wide of the mark. It wasn't a good effort, bounces out of bounds in front of the dangerous Chapman.
Well, if North Melbourne did a lot of work on fast starts, he'd throw that system out the window.
Yeah,
because Essendon have just totally got a hold of this game early.
And really, Lee should have had another goal there. Hardingham was disappointing there. He had a couple of chances. Howlett from Chapman. Here is the fourth. Doesn't matter. So Howlett, who kicked 4 in round 1 last year, gets on the board, and they've got 4.
Well, the Kangaroos need to put some time into Paul Chapman. He set that up with a deft hand pass. Again, it was an uncontested possession. It staggers me that you wouldn't have some body or arm across a player who's done it so often in big games. And North Melbourne, an early challenge for this side. It was late in games a lot last year, and now it's the start of the game. They need to reassess. They've got a young fella playing his first game who's doing it a bit tough. The leaders need to stand up.
Well, Chapman's so involved. We saw Howlett. He had a great start to last year. Ran out of puff a bit, didn't he? I think he'd had 6 goals in the first 2 weeks of last year. Anyways, got that on the board. So 4 to zip here. So I don't know if you start panicking or not. Zeebel's long ball in. And the mark taken by Bagley. Fletcher just held right up, playing that defensive role on Fletcher. And then Bagley wide to Stanton. Much maligned at times, Stanton. What a great career he's had, though. Over 200 games. Hard-running, high-possession footballer. Kicks the ball out to centre wing. Merritt.
That's Jackson Merritt out against the boundary line. Wants to go. Very short. Chapman demanding the football. Springing his step.
Thompson's rolled onto Chapman now.
There's 2 or 4 goals. Told to go. Running out of space. Little shimmy. Confused everybody. Kick inside the forward 50 off hands. Howlett wanted the football. 2 Melbourne players took a backward step. Just inside the 50. Grimer kicks into Ryder. The heads are down like a couple of rams there, and the ball not coming out. And the ball up. Dangerous stuff. You hear the umpire explaining why there was no free kick. Same time. Simultaneous. Ramage. Ball tossed up. in the back. No, he did well to avoid him. Thompson over the top of Chapman. Hawking just nudges it forward, getting back his Hansen. Grimer hunts the boundary line with a kick, and it's taken by Thompson.
Lee, a lot of talk about North Melbourne's leadership. If Joel Selwood was out there tonight, I reckon right now he'd be imposing himself on this game.
Well,
they need someone to come forward.
Andrew Swallow, their captain and best clearance player, is not there, and at the moment his absence is just leaving a gaping hole in their ball-winning inside.
And I reckon it's twofold, Lee. I think there's the presence of someone to drive through the pack and take control, but then also to structurally set up. I don't think footy's changed that much. If you've had 4 goals to none kicked on you, you start to put a player behind the ball just to stem the flow, control the tempo of the game.
Stanton to Zaharakis to half forward. Ambrose, good fly and a boundary throw in.
When you look at the ball winners for Essendon so far, Watson, Goddard, Chapman. And there's Andrew Swallow, the injured North Melbourne skipper on screen. They'd love him out there, no doubt, but gives an opportunity for someone else to exert their authority.
He's working ABC radio tonight, Andrew, but don't switch, because Tom's doing a good job. Zeebel's kick out wide. Gleeson, gee, look how skinny Gleeson's legs are. He's had a big pre-season though. Right on the up, Thomas. Dennis, they get their first big chance.
On the move, Gibson, sweeping hand pass. Athlete finds himself down towards half forward. It's like a bomb. He just puts it in the air, hoping a North Melbourne player can run underneath it. They couldn't. Hooker took the mark, goes to Heppel. The runners around the outer side. Bagley, intent on drawing a man. McKenzie comes to him now. Bagley, not 15, back to Heppel. Now this is a dangerous kick, but he's got exquisite skills as Heppel. Hibbert out of the back pocket. Danaher, Hardingham is on. Any way he can, he gets the ball to him. Taken on the half volley. Hardingham back towards the corridor. Flirting they were, and they paid the price. Thomas is through now. Bumped as he kicked. And as a result, an easy mark down there for Bagley. And on the move in the pocket is Hurley.
Gee, their last 2 forward entries have been terrible, haven't they?
Yeah, they're losing their structures here at the moment, Bruce. Trying to orchestrate a free man, but losing a match-up in the process of that.
So McMillan, they just need some poise here, don't they? Now McKenzie's a pretty good kick. They do need to find a target here. They need to work their way through this. 1 goal would make such a difference to the mindset. And he goes short. Black made a good contest, actually. Right. Goddard, high. Advantage, well, it's coming back to Goddard.
Hey, Sammy, take the free kick, right? Don't go back.
Well, Petrie's the player. Bruce, he hasn't had a possession so far. They're falling down across half forward. He actually pushed himself behind the ball, and obviously with the slow play, he wasn't there inside the forward 50.
So Goddard down the line.
Reaching over the top, Carlisle. First to arrive is Merritt. Jackson Merritt dragged down. McMillan in trouble. Zeeble stayed on his feet. Gibson knocks the ball across the boundary line. Interesting, Dustin Fletcher is sitting on the bench at the moment. Hasn't been too much down that end, but obviously they're pacing him for this year and next. One after. Boundary throw in on the outer side. He's actually older than Justin Bieber's parents. Thompson is in there, tries to slap it out of the pack. Here's a chance now. Pasternak, Carlisle, hurried kick around the boundary. Coming to meet it, well done Ambrose, played it to his own advantage, laid it down for Stanton, falling to the ground, gave it to Watson, to Danaher, smothered off the boot.
On the up, Gibson, McMillan, Atley with some pace. Now that's a better kick, here's a good chance now. Now Petrie, running bounce, can go for the goal, decides to do the right thing. Too tall though in the end for Black, so they're going to cough it up, I think. Heppel under the pump, right with the opportunity, can kick a goal, and he does, and they're on the board. It's taken a long time, maybe that'll kickstart them. Well, it wasn't pretty, Lee, but they got there.
What they've done for the last few minutes is stabilised the game a little bit, and they've at least played it in their forward 2/3, and a couple of times they went forward, they just had no one to go to, but at least they, on that bounce off half-back, they had 3 forwards versus 3 defenders. Wright was the one who was the end finisher. Could have gone either way, that one, but at least they had equal numbers, got the ball in there quickly, had players to go to, unlike their couple of forward thrusts prior to that one.
Good bounce back in the middle by Dalziel. Ryder wins it down. Del Santo feigns a hand pass. Created his own space. Sends it down towards half forward. Over the top, Hooker. Roving the pack. Bagley jarred out of there. Harvey. Harvey's missed by a long way and it bounces out of bounds. Not often he's the second oldest on the ground. We've got a throw in. Right full forward. Another chance for North to make something of it. Goldstein won't get to the contest. Behind the pack, it's taken by Ryder. Zaharakis signed a new deal during the week. Ryder sends it up towards the wing. Carlisle tracked it. That was well done. Carlisle indicating he wants to go long. Sends it high. Danaher, the taller man. Edged under it by Thompson. McMahon wants the boundary, and he gets it out.
That would be the way to attract Danaher. He's so tall, he's almost 200 centimetres, so you try and get your body in early as Thompson did then, and at the moment he hasn't got the strength to maintain his height when they push into his hips.
He just got him off balance, and it was clever work by the All-Australian defender. Heppel barging in, so as McMahon got a high one from Merritt. Zaharakis on the up. Ryder couldn't quite. Cunnington down low, did pretty well. And then Goddard slapped it back out. Merritt, Zaharakis busy. We know he's a good kick. That one, he's coughed it up. So North with a chance through Gibson. Hasn't missed a game since he debuted, Gibson. Mature age recruit. He was one of half a dozen players that Wayne Carey wrote about this morning, needing to do more. Thompson. High position fullback, isn't he? Gibson running hard. Can he find the target? Looked a pretty good kick. Mullet, well done though. Bagley getting back and cutting it off.
Good play by Bagley. Very hard to come back with the flight of the ball. Here's the centre bounce. Goldstein looked like he came off with a sore wrist. So maybe from that incident.
Petrie, as a result, doing the rucking. Got first hand to it too. Well done by Howard, setting things up. And now they break away. Zaharakis got it from Myers. Ambrose, back it comes to Myers. He continued his run through midfield. Gleeson, used as a decoy, comes back to Goddard. There he is, Fletch unloads. Oh, how's this? Long towards full forward. Off hands and through for a minor score now. Whoever's writing the script, it's a bit of a killjoy. It goes to the pocket. Here's Wells.
It's un-Australian to touch that on the way through, isn't it?
It is a bit.
Petrie. And she goes past Wayne Carey tonight, Petrie. 245 games, number 10 on the all-time list for the Kangaroos. And again, Bagley to cut off, but now Harvey. Normally good with ball in hand, Harvey. Good kick to Black. Now McKenzie was on the burst coming through. Black decided against it and decides to set it up. Not a great looking kick off the boot. He's hoping a bit right. Hibbard, McMillan, sharking, well done. Bastanak, hooking, couldn't quite get it past though. Was cut off by Myers, and then back to Fletcher, getting it from Gleeson. So the bloke playing his first game to a 379er. Oh, Ambrose was terrific. Talk about first gamers.
Your free kick was a push to you.
Okay, so it's going to Hanson. I loved Ambrose effort here. Look at this.
It was the push against Harvey.
Yeah, there wasn't much in the push.
No, I thought so. Ambrose, that was wonderful. And the coaches will remember that, regardless of whether he got a possession or not. In the meantime, Lindsay Thomas, top goal scorer for North, has got the footy. 53 last season. Marking over Hibbert. Hibbert's been good, but that time Thomas with the lead.
It's a good grab.
Not happy. Saw his first game that denied a free kick. Indoor mark. Thomas. It's on the way. It's good. What a lovely kick. A Buddy Franklin bend in that.
It's been a remarkable transformation, his kicking. I mean, 2 years ago he just had the yips, didn't he? Couldn't
show
kick.
as much about confidence as technique, isn't it? All of a sudden he started to take a few shots, and now he's become a pretty reliable converter.
That was a great kick. As Dennis said, it was Franklin like the way he bent it a bit. This has been a good reply by North. Felt like they were one goal away from being in deep trouble, didn't you?
Yeah. Their back third's been good the last 5 minutes.
It's a good grab. I mean, went early, timed it well.
Playing with confidence, the Essendon defenders at the moment. flying for the ball, but Thomas really shouldn't be able to take a pack mark.
So Goldstein, a big worry here. He's gone down into the rooms, Goldstein. Now, Petrie obviously in the ruck now. See, what would he ruck? 85% of the time?
Oh, yeah, he's a useful ruckman, Petrie, but he's also the main key position go-to player.
So Goldstein's going to be a massive loss if he's out. Zeeble, a couple of clearances important. Bouncing it forward. Hooker, not great, that handball. Gibson pushed off it. Well done, Bazaharakis, but he's claimed a couple of tackles. Black, the first of them. Myers spins out of the tackle. Wells, clever. Cunnington and Hooker together. And then Zaharakis out the back. Hands were good. Got it to Jackson. Back to Hibbert. Hibbert on that natural left, and he goes to Fletcher. So Fletcher in that back pocket. Well, it was a dangerous kick. Hurley, Fletcher, loads it up, gets good distance with a torpedo.
Ambrose dropped the mark this time. Fumbles. Serves him well, though. Zeeble bearing down. Ambrose did well. Myers, been busy. 6 possessions. Sends it down towards half forward. Going back is Chapman. That was clever. Got rid of McDonald, the first gamer, but give him his due. He came back strong. McDonald did brilliantly. Sends it down towards half forward. Bagley arrived. Didn't quite know what to do. Tracks it back, bearing down Black. Bagley in a lot of trouble. Spills wide Atley. They won't catch him. Atley pulls it back towards the middle. Coming up to mid it is Thomas. Beats a man. Delays the hand pass. Harvey with his back to goal. Twisting, turning. Hibbert's done well. Forces him outside the 50. Now the kick into no man's land. Bounces down towards the pocket. Wells gives a hand pass. Del Santo lines up. We talked about his exquisite skills. They're on display again. Brilliant goal.
He might just be the recruit of the year, I reckon, Del Santo. I just think what he adds in terms of experience to this young side. He's played in big games. He's got exquisite skills, which suits the North Melbourne style exceptionally well. And he started the game well. That's a terrific goal, and one that was clearly needed for North Melbourne. They're right back in it now.
They've been terrific. Their response has been good.
Well, they got stitched up in the clearances early. It was 9-3 against them early. It's still. I'm trying to think, Harry. 12-7. They're still down in the clearances, but they've stabilised. You've got to stabilise before you start coming back on the scoreboard. And after Essendon kicked 4 straight, that was the Kangaroos' first task.
But the other big factor is that Goldstein's off the ground. Now, if he can't play for the rest of the night, we'll find out hopefully at quarter time. But that's going to be a massive blow for them. But they've responded so well here. Big call by Tom on Del Santo. And what influence he might have. Watson's had an unbelievably productive opening turn. What's he up to? 12 disposals for Watson. So Jackson Merritt and his brother, a sub tonight. Kick 4, Carlisle the target. Hanson, Carlisle, well done. Hanson stood up. McDonald, a lot to like about it. He's made a couple of blues. He's done some good things. Cunnington, back he goes. Pressure on Hanson. And Danaher gets him. And does he get saved by the boundary line? I think so. And a boundary throw.
I was talking to Brad Scott during the week, and he was just saying how Luke McDonald has got such a buzzy, confident personality, and really, he made a mistake, but he hasn't gone back into his shell. And that's the lesson for every young player. Make a mistake, leave it behind.
Running down to quarter time. Cunnington out of the congestion there. Heppel leads back in the race. Stolen by Bastanak. Tackled by Hibbert. Taken across the line by Del Santo. Good news for North. Although the best football has been played without him, ironically.
Plays more minutes than any other ruckman in the AFL. Hugely important.
Terrific. Over the top. Petrie beaten again, though, by Ryder in front. Fell at their feet. Ball slow to release. I think Heppel's got the footy. No, play on's the call. I heard half a blow as the ball goes down towards half forward. Going back is Hurley, and he takes the mark. Did you hear something, Tom?
No.
Oh, like that. You've got younger ears, so I bow to those younger ears as the ball comes to Hibbert. Hibbert in the back pocket. He's very good at distributing the footy. This is Hooker. Stanton demanding it very short, barely the 15. He's standing alongside the man on the mark. And now encroaching over the mark was Gibson. It matters not because the siren has sounded. I heard that.
Then we're going to go to Rowan White from Triple M. Rowan, what's the latest on Todd Goldstein?
Yeah, Bruce, just keeping a close eye on him. He's in the hands of the medical staff as we speak. He went down to the rooms for about 5 minutes, and they've been looking closely at his left shoulder. He's come up with a small bandage on the top. I think he's had a painkiller, and they're still assessing him, Bruce. We'll keep you updated.
Thanks for that, Rowan. So quarter time here has been an explosive opening term, hasn't it? Chapman with a couple, Dalsanto with one, Goldstein injured. Essendon kicked the first 4 and they lead by 7 points. It's 25-18 on Friday night footy.
Well, 2 players making their debut for their sides tonight. Paul Chapman for Essendon had a real impact in that first quarter. And also Nick Dalsanto kicked a very smart goal. And we know what a clever player he was for St Kilda over a number of years.
Notice Goldstein's still on the bench here, so that's not a great sign for North Melbourne. Not much difference in the clearances or the inside 50s, but massive difference in disposals in the opening quarter.
It's been huge. I mean, all the talk about North Melbourne last year was they were poor defensively. They were actually pretty good at defending possession, particularly marks. They averaged only 79 against last season. Essendon already 39 marks, so just need to tighten up.
I think as the boys pointed out, Essendon have played a possession game. I don't think they want to drive the ball long and deep into their forward line if they can find another way in, so they are being more precise taking it in.
Sorry back, please, guys.
Margin is 7 points starting the second term. Joe Watson 13 possessions, leads all comers. Another Ruckman touched the footy. Hocking, as we heard, doing a very good job. Watson make that 14. Driving kick inside the forward 50. Danaher almost. Ball lying at his feet. Thompson grabs it. Chapman grabs him and will have a ball up.
It's good midfield battle. Cunnington spending a bit of time around Joe Watson on that occasion. Joe just gave himself some space out the back of the stoppage, so Cunnington probably used Joe more as a starting point, I think.
So Ryder just wins the tap. Myers, was he shoved in the back? No call. Hocking and slipped through Watson, then Cunnington's high ball to a contest, standing underneath Hurley. Good mark. So Hurley squares the ball. This is Gleeson. Look at those legs. They are thin, aren't they? But apparently he reads it so well. Bomber Thompson was full of praise. Good kick. Well, what's Watson up to here? 15, is it?
Yep.
It's a remarkable effort by the captain. So kicks to the pocket, then kick to Ryder. 150th game for Ryder tonight. It's not the biggest milestone out there, but it's a good one, isn't it? It's a beautiful kick by Joe. I mean, he's such a great player, Watson, but that's the one area I reckon in the last 4 or 5 years that he's probably really improved on. His disposals now rock solid. So Ryder to hook back and misses.
It's typically life membership at 150 games at most AFL clubs, so it's a great achievement, something he'll look back on.
So McMahon to bring it in. Just thinking about 150 for Patrick Ryder when Justin Fletcher made his debut. Bomber Thompson played his 150th. Here's Watson again, back to Howard. Howard sends it long down towards full forward. Working in front, Hardingham has got a leap. Mullet lost body contact. And one thing Hardingham can do is spring.
Yes, I think he'd like that over again, Mullet, because I think everyone who's ever gone to a game of league football in recent years knows Hardingham can jump on a pack if he gets half a chance.
Goldstein making his way back out. It's Hardingham keen to stretch the lead, and he does. 16 points the margin.
He's been a swing man too, hasn't he, Hardingham? I mean, a lot of... Started forward. I think he kicked 4 goals very early in his career in one match. Played most of his footy, I reckon, down back since
Recently,
then.
yeah.
Takes risks in the air, and sometimes they don't pay off down back, but he's always read the ball pretty well. Backs himself, backs his judgment.
So the Chapman Dalsanto lineup, pretty even. A couple of really class players. Chappie, that's a poor bouncer to come back. It's always nice when you can say you're a triple premiership player, isn't it? Walk into a club with that badge of honour, eh? People take notice. Cunnington's quick kick. Gets it to about 25 metres out. Getting back Hooker. Fletcher, there he is. That's what Wayne Carey talked about at the start of the match. Mr. Gadget, eh? Belting the ball over the line.
Here's Myers in the back pocket then. Takes something off this kick. Just lobs it into Zaharakis. Back to Myers. Wants his left side. Oops. As a result, a bit of trouble for Essendon before Zaharakis keeps a clear head and goes to Watson. 13 points the difference. Watson from half-back, a high ball towards the wing. Danaher up early and up high. Getting the crumb Harvey. Bastanak goes down towards half-forward. Well done by Watson. Well, his teammate knocked it out of his hands. That was Hocking. After he'd done Del Santo, here's Gleeson. Nice work, playing well despite those legs. The ball's gone out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. He'll be so conscious, Bruce.
I like his legs. He'd be a good cross-country runner.
I like his legs. We've got a boundary throw in. Where is he? Got him. Just off the pack. Meantime, Zeebel's got the football. Hooks it down towards half forward. Trying to spoil from behind Hurley successfully. Taken by Thomas. There's Wells, 60 metres out from goal. In trouble, crowded. Gets the kick off though. High ball. Petrie from behind. Well played in front by Hooker. Knocked it down. Bastanak has it. Tackled by Hooker. Tries to slap it. Goldwood. Goddard's over the football. Assistance coming from Fletcher. He's claimed. The ball rolled back in, then back out. It's pinballing around. The umpire with a sense of humour lets them play. Knocked out of the pack. Oh, well played by Watson. Too strong for Thomas. Head passes to space. Del Santo tracks it towards the boundary. Under duress. Hooks it back. Big pack. Knocked forward there by Black. Spills out of the congestion. Zeebel went against the flow. Down he goes with the footy, and the umpire eventually blows the whistle. Tough stuff, but gee, that was a long time in the gestation period.
Great contest, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Zeebel was good on a couple of occasions there. As Dennis said, against the flow, Heppel hacks it out to about 55 metres. Good contest there with Thompson.
Helps those packs clear when the players just try to keep the ball moving. They know if they fall on it, they're likely to get pinned for holding the ball. So players try to keep their feet, so the ball just at least keeps bobbling around.
Gee, that's a physically imposing contest. Zeebel and Watson, isn't it? A couple of big bodies there. Here's Gleeson, speaking of bodies. Back to Hocking, back to Heppel, back to Goddard. Good stuff to Zaharakis. Zaharakis, careful kick, well played. Hooker, Hurley, well done Hurley. Sold a dummy to Petrie. Essendon are out, kicks the ball out wide. Hardingham. So the Bombers have done well here. They were in tight quarters. Hardingham, Goddard, cut off a poor kick by Hardingham. McMillan, Wells, Bastanak. They could hurt them on the rebound here.
Inside the 50, into the path of Black. He tracks it back towards goal. In his hip pocket, Hurley. Then a turning circle from Black, and he snaps a goal. Aaron Black. Intelligent kick to his advantage. Black onto it. It's very agile for a big guy. And again, that paid dividends right there. Hurley, for a moment, appeared as though he was going to get him. No such luck.
It's been a good contest, that one, hasn't Hurley's had the best of Black at this point of the game.
Donald McDonald, Donald, your son's out there. He's doing a good job. I mean, what's it like as a dad watching your boy?
Yeah, well, he had a bit of a shaky start, but to his credit, he fought his way back into the contest.
No doubt about that. You must be riding every kick, every contest.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting here next to the missus, and I think she's worse than me.
And the Kangaroos, mate, they've settled pretty well after a bad start.
Yeah, they've showed a bit of heart here, which has been really good. I mean, the Bombers were good early, but the boys have settled, and it's a great game.
Good on you, Donald. We'll talk to you later in the night. Thank you so much for that.
No worries,
See, Donald's a pro. He mentioned the mistake first. He's his dad. There's Cunnington on the outer side. He's quite right. He's battled back manfully. Breaking away. McMillan's been good. Couple of bounces. Carries it up towards the wing. Goes towards half forward. Black settles it again. He was very high to take that mark. McKenzie couldn't find a way through. Gave it up to Heppel. Heppel That's a clever kick, but Chapman waited for it. He's run down. That's going to be holding the ball surely. Nothing doing. Comes to Harvey in any case. Atley gets through. Feeds it forward. Now a chance for Bastanak. Bastanak bounces it down towards full forward. Thomas was he legged. No free kick. Could have been pushed in the back as well. Now he's got a problem under the footy. Umpire calls for it.
Thanks, mate.
Ball up about 25 metres out.
Some good stuff, isn't it? I mean, Harvey's a little give on the centre of the ground. Sublime a moment ago. Goldstein back out there. Know that he's got a bit of a problem with the shoulder. And that ball not out. Not sure who's got it. Umpire looking. And a ball up. I know it's early. I think the umpiring in the first round's been fantastic, to be honest. Centre half forward. North attacking. Bagley. Zaharakis with a bit of toe. Always constructive. Danaher went early. Thompson chopped him down. McMillan, Dennis has talked about him. Back to Thompson. Thompson, neat looking at Thomas! Yes! Oh, that's a screamer!
It's a confidence booster too. That's second contested mark. Jumps early.
He knows he has to jump early to stop.
Yep.
Hibbert from being able to get his feet off the ground, but then keeps his balance in there. That's a great grab, isn't it? That's terrific.
Eyes on the ball all the way. Great footage.
So 53 goals last year. It was a terrific season. More than any other small forward in the game last season. And should kick his second here. North closing. He's got two. Kangaroos have been impressive after Essendon made the running early. Well, he's added a sort of half an extra weapon to his game, hasn't he? With that sort of aerial stuff tonight.
Yeah, no, he's never been. A lot of small, medium players can mark overhead in the one-on-one contest. I don't think we've ever thought of Thomas as a jumping mark. He's taken a couple of beauties tonight.
Gee, and Dennis is right. McMillan's been really important, I reckon, for North tonight.
So the margin just a point now. Thomas has his second goal. McMillan, talking about him, 10 possessions, providing a lot of run. It's a good bounce. Back in the middle, Ryder wins it decisively down to Watson. At the feet of Hocking. Comes back now to Myers. Myers has a long boot. This is no exception, but getting back Hansen, that's better. It's a little shaky to start, but this was his trademark last year. Marks in defence. Finding the football. Sometimes can never play his hand. Not that time as he kicks it to the outer side. Falls in front of the pack. Cunnington towards half forward. Knocked away by Fletcher. Oh, well played. Goldstein knocked it away from Heppel. Across to Wright. This for the lead. Wright lines up. Scores a level. 32 apiece.
It's all about turnovers at the moment. The side that can punish the opposition turnover. And then from a defensive point of view, it's the work rate when you don't have the ball.
So against Fletcher here. It's a dangerous kick from Hibbert, and Wright courageously got in there.
I think it's just,
That's not a free kick.
I'm not sure, whether it's a free kick or not.
No,
I guess he's paid for the almost the knee in the back, as if that wasn't a marking attempt or a spalling attempt, so therefore it was illegal contact. That's the way the umpire's seen that one.
So Wright having his third shot on goal. He kicked their first goal tonight. So 23 minutes ago, North hadn't scored. Essendon were 4 goals in front. And now for the first time this evening, North get their nose in front. So Wright with the job on, Fletcher. And he's having some impact. He's missed a couple, I know, in this term, but he's amongst them.
Able to bring it in. Started well, but in recent times has had his problems with Thomas. There's Goddard. Best and fairest last season. First season with the Bombers. Amid the turmoil, he was a shining light. Ball goes out wide. Heppel. Terrific young player. Averages 22 possessions a game for his career. And that's a career so young. Close to the boundary. Heppel goes for distance. Beyond the wing, big pack. Off hands and out of bounds. So this game very much in the balance now, but Essendon finding it hard to kick goals. We talked about that before the game. So many of their goal kickers in recent times no longer at the club. Ryder with the run. Goldstein with the block. Did well, knocked it down in front. Taken by Goddard, had it, lost it. Zeeble rolls out of the pack, got a boot to the football. Goddard tries to give it across to Hocking. Stanton's in there battling at the base of all of that. Not sure who it is. He's a North Melbourne player. It's Bastanak. It's going to be a free kick, and it's going the Bombers' way to be taken by Stanton.
So Stanton at centre wing.
Watson's out of the goal square, Bruce. McMahon's gone to him.
Okay, we'll see them there. So that Watson with a height advantage there. So he's deep forward for the moment. He's had 20 disposals, Watson. Hocking back to Stanton. Stanton, slow build up, careful, Heppel. Tennis had a remarkable career already for Heppel. Zaharakis, normally good with ball in hand, Zaharakis. Carlisle, so not such a great kick and a boundary throw-in. So they're very careful there not to go long, weren't they? Trying to push it around, that possession footy. North worrying them a bit on the break at the moment. Being able to bounce it out of the back line. Let's see if they can get hold of it. Myers, Stanton with a hook. Gets it back to full forward. Bouncing ball, Grimer and Ambrose. Hanson, McMillan talked about his impact. Can he get it out of the danger zone? Not quite. Zeeble. Stanton keeps his head, well done. And Howlett protected the footy really well and takes the mark. Bit of argy-bargy with Thompson.
Benny, just step back, guys. Come on, Scotty, you're up. You're right to get up now. Get the ball to Ben, Dave. Thanks, mate. Scotty, come back in, mate. Here. No, here.
That's the play with the blazed away with that ball. It's great vision and deft touch from Brent Stanton.
Thanks, Ben. Right on it. Yeah, right in line with me. Yeah.
So we talked about the fact that Howlett had a career-high 4 goals in the opening round last year over in Adelaide. Chapman set up a goal for him in the opening term. This to give the Bombers back the lead. And it's all square.
Interesting hearing the umpires, Mike, wasn't it? I mean, that's good player management, the way he handled that sort of situation. Nothing happening, but to make sure that no one loses their cool over that.
McMillan has a bounce. Runs outside the 50. He's gone too far, says the umpire. Well, an overthought. He had the one bounce early, virtually in the first few steps, and then he's gone too far, so he coughs up the ball to Jobe Watson. Now on the mark about 55 metres out. That's McMillan working hard. He put some pressure on Watson's kick. Oh, big leap again. Hardingham fell in front of the pack, and Zeeble was claimed immediately. The umpire wants it. So Hardingham able to run at these packs, and Tom made the point before. It was about Thomas. Got to lay a body on them, Tom.
Yeah, you do. You've got to know your opposition and know what their strengths are, and that's his go for sure.
Goldstein won it down. Roves his own ball. Kicks it about 10 metres. Hocking. With the outside of the boot, Ambrose did well, but it goes out of bounds on the full.
He's likely Ambrose, isn't he, off the rookie list? Like what we've seen, one of 3 debutants tonight for the Bombers. First time since 2004 they've played 3 in the one game in their first games. What a good contest we're seeing here. Hooker, Stanton starting to build. He's up to 9. Heppel.
Advantage against you.
Heard the umpy. Chapman loads it up, kicks it long and high. Watson's in that goal square. Build it away. Howlett getting through, couldn't quite. Del Santo didn't concede in the end. Good little give by McDonald. They don't quite get it out. Here's Gleeson and Gibson. Gleeson kept his feet importantly. Chapman pushed off it by Harvey. Back to Chapman. And then Chapman kicks the ball high to the pocket. McMahon with one arm, and then Howlett the boundary throw-in. So Essendon getting back on top in the last couple of minutes here, pushing forward hard.
The tempo is lifted. North trying to go with them. Scores are level. Essendon got the fast start tonight. Here's Ryder off balance, goes to the ground. Gibson trying to stifle a hand pass. Cunnington grabs it. High ball short of the wing. In from the side, Hibbert missed it. Thomas clever, surrounded by 3 Bombers. Fed it out to Petrie. Petrie just bundled over the line by Fletcher. Good game of footy, this. Boundary throw in, right on the wing. Clearances still favouring the Bombers. Goldstein trying to change that. Knocked it down, but straight to the path of Goddard. Zeeble quickly picked it up, throws it on the boot. It wanders down towards left half forward. First back is Fletcher. Well done, Thomas. Smothered the hand pass, so another boundary throw in as North work it around this broadcast side wing.
I feel like every time he's in the 50-50 right now, Thomas is going to win the battle. He's looked very sharp.
Danaher in the ruck for the Bombers.
Goldstein, Danaher, because Bell Chambers still injured. Saw him before the match. He's about 6 weeks away. Goddard to Stanton, to Zaharakis. Those good players for the Bombers. Carlisle setting up, running hard. Now Goddard can goal from here, and he does. That's a gift, isn't it? Off a step, 50 metres, bang. Oh, he's a good player. I couldn't believe that between them, Dalsano and Goddard hadn't won a best and first at St Kilda. I mean, you know, all Australians, 5 between them, and it comes to Essendon. He's a beautiful finisher, isn't he?
And he's a midfielder who likes kicking goals. He came forward with the flow of the ball, got the handball, and whenever he approaches the 50-metre mark, you know the distance is well within his range.
It was a good pick-up. I mean, we talked about Dalsano this year. He was a great pick-up, wasn't he?
Seen some class finishes from Chapman, Dalsanto and Goddard. All one-step kicks from 50. I mean, they are just invaluable.
And credit the will to run too. He still had to run to get that hand pass back. Some guys give it off and then just slow down. He accelerated after the kick. Got the ball right on the 50. That's the margin the Bombers lead by. 6.5 minutes out from half-time. Goldstein doing pretty well into the path of Wells. They need more from him. Storms away from centre. Long kick. Going back is Cunnington. Their step is Hooker. Hooker stayed on his feet. Hit it under pressure. Gets a kick off. Just outside the defensive 50. Howlett been busy in the last few minutes. Takes the mark. Goes to Watson. Busy all night. Watson is up to 22 possessions now. What a performance. Jobe Watson to the wing. Chapman, who started brightly. He's got a couple of goals, looking down towards half forward. Danaher is drifting back. I doubt Chappie can kick it that far. Comes across to Watson. Watson short. Howlett again. He ran hard from half back. Hocking. Heppel. Heppel just lobs it inside the forward 50. Carlisle was up, had it knocked away. This is Jackson Merritt. Hooks it down towards full forward. Off hands. Hardingham. Hardingham gets his second. Not leaping that time. It's all about Crumming. And that's his role down there to present, I think, some pressure on the opposition defenders. And he can do both. Take a mark. He's very good at that. And that time, anticipating the fall of the ball off hands and snapping and putting it through. So suddenly, they're up by a couple of goals now, the Bombers.
Just back down here, Jamie.
He kicked 4 goals in his debut against North Melbourne, Harding, the very first time he played, so he's got a couple tonight. Just Watson's control around the middle has just been extraordinary, hasn't it?
23 disposals before half-time. He's just owning the footy.
And he was so pivotal in that set up there. Well done by Ryder. Chapman having a terrific debut. Well, I say debut, we know how many games he's played at the back. Danaher, Grimer getting back. And what a change in momentum in the last 5 minutes here. It was all the Bombers early, then all North. There's Chappie. Last time he played for Geelong, he kicked 4 goals in that final against Port Adelaide. But in Bomber colours, Stanton just couldn't get it away. Goldstein, Chapman again, just overran it. Well done on the up by McDonald down the line. Atlee, I should say, down the line. A good mark. Hooker. Squaring, dangerous. Okay, though. This is the boy we've been talking about, Gleeson. Matt Thompson, I spoke to him yesterday, and he said, look, he's just got this fantastic awareness. He can cut the ball off. He reads it brilliantly. He actually mentioned Corey Enright in the same sentence, and then he sort of looked at me and said, well, we'll visit that in about 10 years' time. Here's Hooker. I just remembered, though, Dan. I wrote it down.
We'll get back to him. Hooker goes short. Heppel, barely to 15 again. Heppel. Well, that's not a good kick. Testing Goldstein's fitness. Goldstein up to it. Got a fist on it. McKenzie, Atlee now Thomas. Nobody up ahead. McKenzie. Well, Atlee's got it instead. McKenzie was running on as well, but getting back is Gleeson. They were storming like a wave towards half-forward North with nothing to kick to, unfortunately, for them. Now Heppel outside the defensive 50. Short one Hawking alongside the centre circles. Move comes from Carlisle. Gets down low. In fact, this is Myers right on the wing. Hooks it around the corner. And Stanton's got it. Swings it out wide. Hurley. So plenty of movement up on the forward line, although it's dried up a little for this kick. Oh, he waited it well. Goddard right on the boundary line. Swings it towards the kickoff line. Going back. Danaher. That is a spectacular mark.
What was good about that was the kick in from Goddard. He didn't even look. He just turned and went straight away. Knew that he had tall timber down there and down there. That's a fantastic mark. That shows you how in time a difficult matchup he's going to be.
Memories of Paul van der Haar right there.
Dennis, I was just about to say exactly the same thing. Eyes on the ball all the way.
Knowing that we were on the same wavelength just for a moment, Tim, I find very uplifting. Margin 12 points. Here he is. And does what Paul would have done. Kicks the goal. And celebrates like he's on fire.
Do you think Tim's as happy as you are that he's on the same wavelength as you?
No, not at all.
Well, Dano will get stronger, as will young Gleeson. He's had a really good 5-minute patch too. So 69 Ks they say he's in the media guide, but certainly knows how to play.
It's funny how they've taken it. I mean, Attlee was a poor kick going forward again. I mean, that turnover at 50, yeah. Fantastic mark. I mean, there's a lot of the future about that mark, isn't it? Yeah. It's what they've got to look forward to.
He came onto the bench and he sat next to Gleeson. Just that youthful exuberance you get with young players coming into the side.
Essendon, by the way, have taken 29 of the last 30 marks in this match. Watson on career high figures in the opening half. Kicks to full forward. Carlisle, clever behind. So Watson, just on Watson for a moment, he's up to 24. Now, on 4 occasions previously, he'd had 21 disposals in the opening half of a match. Now, his career high is 41 against Collingwood, but he's got career high so far of 24 opening half possessions. So, a remarkable performance by the captain. The kick to centre wing. And North need a goal. Hooker, well done. Ambrose got it to Merritt. Not such a great kick. Stanton's been busy in the second quarter. Harvey taken a bit high. Got away from Attlee. Back to Grimer. Still back to Grimer. Oh, he took forever. Poor handball. Howlett played it well. Attlee arches his back. Pressure on Thompson. And then Thompson belts it as far as he can. Gets it out to half back. Goldstein may be unlucky boundary throw-in, but North under siege right now.
The disposal discrepancy is just unbelievable at the moment. 216 disposals to Essendon, only 130 to the Bombers. Absolute possession domination.
Goldstein did well, got it down to Wells. Awkward hand pass for Del Santo, picked up by Bagley. Bagley snaps and misses, but extends the lead. This game being played in surges, both clubs having their moments and making the most of them. Plenty to laugh about. How about that? Here's Hardingham, just outside the 50. Sends it downwards, full forward. It could run on. Darting back there is Bastanak, kept it alive. McMillan out of defence. Del Santo. Actually, he does have reason to smile. Robert Thompson, his team on top. And in his last 100 games coaching Essendon, or rather coaching Geelong, he won 83 of them. It's going to make you happy. There's Thompson, kicks beyond the wing.
Hanson the target. There's Bombers left, right and centre. Thomas put some pressure on Merritt. Well done, Hibbert. So the Bombers controlling. They're almost back to their big lead of the game. I mean, they were 4 goals in front early, 4-0. And then North hit the front. So it's been a great response here from Essendon. Merritt, Goddard. So Goddard, such an important factor in this revival. Second half of the second term. He and Stanton and Watson and Zaharakis. And Heppel, Hurley, switching the play. Hooker, is there time? Out wide, Myers. Now he's got a long leg, Myers, we know that. Essendon with a chance here. Is that out on the full? No, Chapman. Gee, he'd be satisfied with his first half, wouldn't he? Played so many great games under Bomber Thompson. Now he just sets it up. They've been marking everything. Hardingham pushed out. Ryder, still Ryder, hooking back. Howlett trying to get it away. And pushed out of it, Stanton. And a boundary throw in.
Dying seconds. Can they manufacture something here, the Bombers? Tossed in. It needs to be quick and clean. In front, Ryder. Miss Zaharakis. Off the ground by Watson. Smothered by Hanson. And the moment passes. Half time. First it was Essendon. Then it was North Melbourne. But Essendon finishing the first half the stronger. And they lead by 20 points. The margin was 7 at quarter time. And bear in mind, about 2/3 of the way through that quarter, North Melbourne had taken the lead. Half time on Friday Night Football. The Bombers in North Melbourne with so much more to come. 16 apiece, best for North Melbourne. McMillan with 14. A real imbalance there in the possessions, Tom.
Unbelievable. Just need to get their hands on the ball and find another avenue other than turnovers for goals, North Melbourne.
2:30 to 1:35, Essendon's way. Almost taking a tumble. McMillan anxious to get in. Zeeble, that was clever. Wells, they need more from him. Went to ground. Myers taking a full revolution by Del Santo. Ball came back to him. Eventually trickles out of there. Hocking. Zaharakis. Mullet's got him. And the umpire will throw it up alongside the centre circles to begin this third term.
Step back, guys, tight.
The game in stages. Essendon so good early. North Melbourne in the middle stages. And Essendon surging close to half-time. Hocking hurriedly. Gunnerwood's half forward taken by Chapman. He's been good. Zaharakis 55 metres out to the advantage of Carlisle. Missed it initially. Butters up again. Gets some clearance from the pack. Ambrose taken down. Attlee tries to keep it in front. And now McMillan again.
Good stuff, McMillan to right. Out wide to Worls. Just 7 disposals to half-time. Petrie quiet as well. He had to do a fair bit of the ruck work and taken over the line aggressively by Hook on a boundary throw-in.
They're the two players, I think, Bruce, that North Melbourne are really going to rely upon if they're going to get back in this game. Wells delivering the ball to Petrie.
Ryder and Goldstein. Goldstein lays it down. Cunnington with some time now. And that's a pretty good kick to the top of the square. Black, oh, good mark again. It's Thomas. Well, the two T's have been getting their goals. Turnovers and Thomas, really, in the first half. And he's taken 3 very good marks. I mean, that one not as spectacular as the first two, but it was difficult.
About still trying to work out how to get. He just read the ball better than the other players in the vicinity.
Lee, 3 marks inside 50 for North tonight, all to this guy.
Yep.
Thomas has taken all 3. So this would be just the perfect start. He's been kicking accurately. We've talked a lot about it. He's careful. He's kicked 3. It's been a really good performance. A cameo's becoming a little larger right now. So 1 goal in each of the terms for Thomas. All of them from really, really good marks.
It would disappoint, I reckon, if you're sitting in the Essendon coaching box looking at the back line, seeing Thomas taking contested marks in the forward 50. There's an even contest. They really shouldn't be able to do that.
Well, he basically stood flat-footed and marked that, didn't he? It was you don't expect. That's what Hibbert is very disappointed. I think he allowed that to happen.
And here's Lindsay Thomas Knight in the forward 50 so far. 3 of his goals coming from contested marks, and that one in particular, an even-numbered contest. There should have been someone coming in, and disappointing result from Hibbert and the Bombers.
On the way down, Goldstein won it down. Cunnington heard the umpire. Cunnington grabbed before he took the football just forward of the centre circle. So is it time for North to make another move? Good game of football, as we said earlier. Cunnington coming off a fine season, averaged 21 possessions a game. Thomas almost another one. He's taken 3 contested marks tonight. Took 8 for the season last year. There's Carlisle to his own advantage. Knew where the help was. Howlett off his step up towards the wing. Danaher at full tilt and at full reach. Just lobs the ball into the path of Carlisle. Well, it's set for him. Closing his Grimer. Carlisle, well, got the kick away down towards full forward. Getting across is Hanson. It was a rather tired kick, actually. And the man chasing gave up the chase a little easily too when Chapman came across to Shepherd. Well, as you can see, Carlisle is spent.
See Danaher imposing that mark again. Just thinking of just his potential. Goldstein, you can see that he's labouring with that shoulder. He went the one arm there. Cunnington working hard early in this quarter. Ball eluded Hurley. Gleeson got it to Bagley, got it to Hooker. That kick to the pocket. Ambrose, good contest against Cunnington. Still in play? No, Zaharakis just out in the boundary throw-in.
Well, have a good look at Goldstein, this boundary throw, and he really looks like his left arm is just going to hang by his body. Doesn't look like he's got any power with it. It's all just one-armed.
Exactly, Lee. Again, you could see he had to go with the right, so he's struggling. Chapman's been so important. Hooks the ball back to a hot spot, about 20 metres out. Big fly, Danaher involved. Hard handball for Bastanak from Thompson. Gets it back, Thompson. Danaher with him, and Thompson played it well enough. And a boundary throw-in. So North backs to the wall, but they've got the important opening goal of the second half.
Boundary throw-in then. 53 plays 39, early going third term. Fascinating duel, this one. Goldstein very conscious of Ryder, and again just lays it down, blocking Ryder's run. Comes to Chapman. Chapman, very high kick. Floats towards the middle. Hansen did well. Hit the ball hard. Clatters into the back of Hocking. Well played by Bagley to Zaharakis. Chapman lines up at his third, and he puts it through. Well, that's a big goal.
That one-step kick, it's always been a trademark of Chappie's. Got unbelievable leg and core strength, but just to sink the boot in from 45, 51 steps, just an invaluable asset. And that's a fair bit of claret just there.
Blood rule with that one.
It's not pretty, is it? So Cunnington here, bang, collides with Gleeson, and he gets cut right open here. He's leaving the field, as you can see, down below, and he's been cut up. What about Chapman's contribution tonight? 3 goals. Remarkable career at Geelong. Fantastic big-time player. And he's made an impact here in his first game as a Bomber. That famous number 3, Dick Reynolds, maybe the most famous of them all, and they've had some big ones, haven't they, the Bombers? Zeeble out of the centre from Goldstein. Wright doesn't take it cleanly. Bagley, Hurley, oh, good tackle. Thomas got him down. Heppel, Zaharakis. Hibberd likes to construct. Neat-looking kick off the boot. Ambrose onto it. Back he goes. Goddard, so important in their revitalisation in that second quarter. Heppel has to backtrack. Switch okay. Myers back. Hooker off a step. There it's okay. Myers takes the mark. They haven't panicked. Heppel again.
Looks up. Just lobs at the 15. Hibberd has done well. But by the same token, Thomas has marked over him 3 times tonight. Kicked goals. Hooker. Hurley. Wide is still to Bagley. Gleeson is off, running hard. He'll be ignored, though. Bypasses the leading youngster and goes looking for Stanton. Zeeble, tailor-made for him. Destroys it out of bounds.
Interested to watch this boundary throw, and North Melbourne needs to do their best to protect a third man up from Essendon jumping into Goldstein. Is this sole ruckman now?
Goldstein, a master of just stopping short of the ball, and again does it there, knocks it down to Zeeble, in trouble, falling to the ground. Bastanak off the ground, towards half forward, Bagley, Hibberd. Short one towards midfield. Half volleyed by Heppel. Waiting for him was Gibson. Wrestles him down. And the umpire no alternative.
Thank you. And the temptation would be to bang into Goldstein here, wouldn't it, as hard as you could.
Yep.
Bastanak just cut off there, cleverly by Stanton. Gleeson involved. Petrie, can he impose himself in the second half? Well done, Howlett. Doesn't quite get it out. McMillan had a very productive opening half. Merritt running hard. Howlett. Still Howlett. Still Howlett. They didn't get him. Well played. Goes back. Goddard sweeps the handball to Gleeson. Gleeson, well done. Some poise and then backs himself and then slings a terrific handball to Hooker to Stanton. Stanton on the burst. Zaharakis can kick a goal. 55 metres out. And doesn't, but kicks to the pocket. Gee, I like Gleeson in the middle a moment ago.
You can see, I mean, you don't want to make the comparison to Corey Enright just yet, but there's a bit about it then. Just knew where he was on the field and got the ball out.
Thompson to Mullet. Drives it out wide to Harvey, who's being quiet. Scuttles away, just chips beyond the wing. Gibson started on the bench tonight. Now where will he go? Margin 20 points. Bombers on top. Friday night football at Etihad Stadium. The kick is on the way down towards the attacking 50. Good mark taken by Hooker. Seen a lot of it tonight. Goes very short. Stanton. That was courageous. He was flat-footed, bearing down a bigger man than McMillan. He angled his body to absorb the collision, and he hung onto the footy. No mean feat. Here's Heppel. A lot of hair at left half back. He goes short. Less hair takes the mark. Just behind the wing, it's Fletcher. Back to Heppel. Goes to half forward with a kick. Hardingham, body to body that time. Well played by Ackley. And it's fisted over the boundary line.
Watson again at full forward, Tom, as you talked about earlier today. So he's had a few spells down in the goal square.
Yet to have a touch this quarter. Nothing to worry about, of course. He's been absolutely dominant.
Goldstein really wounded, isn't he? Tapped it down to Ryder. Just wonder how long he can keep going here, Goldstein. Hocking, well done. Chapman off the step. He's a chance. Chappie kicks to the goals that are behind. There is Watson and McMahon. Just thinking about North a moment ago, that Gibson kick forward to 3 Essendon defenders. I mean, there's just no structure in their tall forwards in the forward 50 at the moment. They're in trouble, North.
Grimer leads back in the race. Peels away from Gleeson, comes short. Thomas has got it alongside the centre circle. It's on the move is Black. That's a good lead and a good kick. Black is marked about 55 metres out. Looks long down towards full forward. That's a massive kick right from behind. Almost, yes, no. Spilt it at the last moment. Hit the deck and the ball jarred free. Merritt, that's Jackson Merritt over the top. Hibbert, short of half back. And here's Fletcher. So, they dodge a bullet right there. Awkward half volley to Myers. The danger hasn't passed. McMillan grabs the footy. Nobody down there for North. Marked by Hooker. Another easy possession for the defender comes to Jackson Merritt. The youngster to the veteran, Chapman. What an acquisition he's been tonight. Carries a heavy resume as he chips it over the man on the mark and finds Jackson Merritt, who'd pushed on.
They booed him for 14 seasons, Bomber fans, and now they love him, don't they? After about an hour and a half of footy, why not? Here's Zaharakis. What about North? They've just blazed.
I reckon they're going to have to find another forward, North. And I wonder whether Lockie Hansen, they're going to need to kick some goals to win the game. Whether they put him down to bolster up their defence, maybe he can be that extra moving forward.
Advantage given, so Carlisle onto it. Kicks to full forward, and he's got him. There's the bloke Tom's been talking about, going to full forward, Watson.
Just adds so much to his value as a player. He's just a fantastic get around the middle of the ground, but he's just become a really dangerous full forward line player on the bird when he has a spell in there.
Where'd you have him in your top 7, Watson? Do you
I had
remember?
him number 4. After his night's performance, very happy with number.
Well, Selwood's number 3. He did pretty well last week. So, wearing number 4. Good kick. Ooh. Gee, what a captain he is, eh? We've got some good ones at the moment. He's right up there. There are some good leaders when you think about it. I mean, we saw Selwood last night. This bloke's as good as we've got, isn't
Absolutely. In the prime of their careers, too. Pendlebury, Collingwood, of course, Ablett at the Suns. I mean, there's a lot of captains who are also the very best players in the game.
Do you reckon he's as good as his old man, Watson?
Steady.
Not when Tim's at the ground at the same time, Bruce, please.
Can we have a secret ballot?
Gee, you could play Timmy.
There you go. Pretty definitive there. So Watson takes a seat, asking a lot of young McDonald, dragging him back to the goal square to play on Joe Watson. Howlett digs it out of the middle. Bombers on the move again, off hands to the back of the pack. Doing well, Danaher. Can he find it? No, he can't. Scuffed away by McMillan. Was that in the back? Apparently not. They play on. No way that North Melbourne player on the deck could have got it out. Last man up is Thompson. Here's the player just flat on his face there. The ball wedged underneath him. Hooked down behind by Ryder. Diving at it, Danaher. It's an ugly pack, McKenzie. McDonald and a whistle.
North about to activate their subs too. Adams about to come on. Just watching the runner go up there now to see which North Melbourne player he goes to.
Well, they need something from whoever comes on, Tim, because Essendon have really got control of it again. Ball still not out, still not out.
You see young Danaher, I mean, 201 centimetres, but he's so agile at ground level. I mean, he's still going to be light in the frame. You don't think he can lead an attack at this point of his career, but he's just a prodigy on the way up, isn't he?
Ryder, Goldstein, Dal Santo. Quite after a good start, Dal Santo. Works it to McMillan. Back it goes to Mullet. Grimer's floaty ball, marked by Dal Santo. Just thinking about the GWS big guns, Cameron and Patton and Boyd. We've got Danaher. There's some good young stuff around, isn't there?
Yeah, the next generation.
The next generation of tall forwards. Down the line, Gibson. They just need some inspiration here, North. They need to break a line. Dal Santo under pressure. Harvey underneath. Maybe he can provide it.
He's at left half forward. Wells, little 1-2 with Harvey, who runs into space, runs across the numbers. Question of accuracy. Kicker's on the way and he's got it. Margin 21 points. Harvey dashing. And Wells combining there with the veteran.
It's no coincidence those two, is it? They're the two line breakers. When they get the ball, the ball gets carried, and when they get involved together, well, then the ball comes forward very quickly.
At the moment, Lee, they need some run and carry, don't
Absolutely.
They? Well, we were wondering, Lee, where they're going to get their goal from. They got it from a couple of veterans, didn't they?
Go all the way through. Don't worry about the forwards or Thomas jumping on the pack. Just break the 15-metre mark and bring it through. They haven't been able to get that play going very often tonight.
So the Bombers had the big lead of the match now. It's back to within 3.5 goals. Zeebel's clearance work will be so important in the second half. Adams, a good touch for him coming on. Whirls getting slightly busier. Not a great kick. Up and under the centre half forward. Bagley with courage. Well done, Fletcher. Gleeson, we've talked a lot about this kid. Like him a lot. Good kick to Howlett. Takes the mark at half-back centre wing. What a good contest. It's 3.5 goals. It probably feels like 3.5 at the moment. It's felt a bit closer, though, because of the bursty all-night stuff. Out wide, Fletcher pulls rank. You can pull rank on Tony Abbott, I reckon. Fletcher kicks the ball to centre wing.
Hibbert, another awkward half volley from Myers. He took it well. It's a clever kick around the corner. Jackson Merritt possibly playing his best game for the club right now. Sends it inside the forward 50. And a big leap by Carlisle.
It's become crucially important to the structure of Essendon. I still think he's a better backman at this stage of his career. But there's a problem of where to play Hurley. I think Hurley's a better defender, so he's going to have to play centre-half forward while Joe Danaher develops, and that's what he's capable of. Good contested mark and generally a pretty reliable kick on goal.
And you think back to that Friday night against Carlton. Waite was giving him the run around. He went forward and made a rod for his own back. He's on the forward line now. Big kick. Always narrow. Through for a minor score, which stretches the lead to 22. 45 plays 67. 7.5 minutes out from three-quarter time.
And Dennis, it appears that Cunnington has actually been given the vest, so he's been subbed out of the game. We know that he left the game with a bad cut to his head, so maybe there's a little bit of concussion in that as well.
Thanks, Tim. Not a great kick. Should have taken the mark really there, Hibbert, I think. Thomas, no free kick. Unlucky. Black. Well done, Hurley, still in play. And now out. So, looked like probably a free kick, maybe missed. Boundary throw in. Certainly missed.
How do you miss that out in the open play?
So Essendon with a comfortable lead. Adams for Cunnington. We know Zach Merritt's still on the interchange, waiting to get his first run. He'd be itchy, wouldn't he, with his brother out there right now. So the boundary throw in. Myers getting the ball forward.
Huge raps on Zach Merritt. Apparently just a beautiful user of the ball. One of the better kicks at Essendon already in his first year.
Danaher. Petrie. Danaher reaches over the top, won it decisively. Merritt, that's Jackson, the older of the brothers. Gave it to Heppel, looking for Ambrose, another first gamer. He's been impressive, making Atley work. Atley, the victor that time, getting it out of bounds. 22 points the Bombers' way. North Melbourne with a large hill to climb right here. Knocked forward by Petrie, stolen away by Goddard. The hill grows by the moment. That is a terrific goal.
So top up. I'm just thinking, you know, Goddard and Chapman, you top up a pretty good team.
Yeah, they do, but there's few players who can just get the ball with a yard of space out near the 50-metre line and put over the goal umpire's head, and Goddard and Chapman are two of them. So having a couple of those makes you very dangerous for those half chances forward half.
I've just had it confirmed too that Cunnington has been subbed out of the game because of concussion.
Thanks, Tim. Speaking to Bomber Thompson at Essendon yesterday, he said that Goddard and Watson, he wanted to push them forward more this year. Felt he could get goals out of both of them. And they've kicked 3 between them, 2 in this quarter, really important ones. Goddard 18 goals last year, so Harvey and Wells again. So a throw against Wells.
Yours, Joe. Cut it out, guys. Joe, get it here. Clear it away. Kick to a net. Time back on.
So things not going for North at the moment. Watson.
Wow.
Hurley. Have you seen his game, Lee? Hurley down back.
I could, yeah, no, I think I've been on the part of the football community that thinks he's a better forward, but I must say he's played really well down there tonight.
Merritt, as Dennis said, having a good night, Merritt. Oh, big fly. Hardingham was the flyer. Well done, Goddard, getting it out. Chapman in really heavy traffic, almost cut off. Zeeble, Chappie again, took a dive. Goddard and Zeeble fighting for the one ball. Still not out, God, who's got it? Not sure.
Jeff, where do you want me, mate?
He dragged it in. It's got to be on the ball. What? It's got to be on the ball.
It's like layers on an onion as they peel off, isn't it? Kid stuff.
Gee.
Probably against the player at the very bottom of the pack.
Drag in.
He dragged it. Yeah, no, he did drag it back in.
Yeah.
And then really you got very little chance, but if you don't get it out, it's going to be an automatic free kick.
Well, he got the best and fairest last year in front of Joe Watson. Right now, he's probably challenging Joe for best man on the ground, Goddard. Though he doesn't quite finish that one behind. So Essendon got a good lead here. Young Merritt's on, so Tom, the youngster with the big rap, Zach Merritt on. Who's gone off for them? Let me have a look. Young Gleeson, is it?
It looks like Gleeson. He was doing a little bit of a warm-up here in front of me before, so I think he might have got a bit of a corky, or he might just have a little bit of a concern with one of his legs.
Adams, right half back, runs it up towards the wing. There's a second bounce. Myers stays off him. One-on-one further afield then. Petrie, good use of the body. Under pressure, gets the kick away. Thumped towards the goals by Fletcher. Fletcher's night and the ball obeys him. Philip Sapnett's point there. Tracking it back was right, but Fletcher forcing the behind. Right is on his side.
You wonder what he was like at his peak. It's that far back I can't remember, but he's no worse than he was 10 years ago.
Hibbert out of the back pocket. That's hardly a rap. He's no worse than he was 10
but I'm
years
saying
ago.
as a 39-year-old, he's as good as he was late 20s at least.
Here's Zaharakis. Sends it up towards the wing. The one-arm Goldstein got a fist on it. Adams tackled as the ball arrived. The hand pass came from Gibson. Well done by Merritt. We'll have a boundary throw in.
So he's not 39. He's not 39 till May. He's only a young, sprightly 38-year-old.
That's what his license says. His game says about 25, doesn't it? There's Zaharakis. Got it from Myers. Towards half forward, big leap by Thompson, controlled it brilliantly. It was a slow whistle because the umpire, for a moment, Couldn't believe he could have held that one. Here's Atley. No support. Atley needs to be careful. Good evasion. Zach Merritt going after him. And in turn, peels off to the next one, McMillan. Well, Merritt worked hard. He picks up the mark for Mullet. Mullet back across the ground. This is McDonald. Nobody behind McDonald as he kicks wide to McKenzie. McKenzie lobs it to Grimer. Grimer in space. Oh dear. Not exactly Phil Mickelson's short game. We put it out of bounds on the full. Missed by about 10 metres from about 10 metres.
I think he stayed in the bunker then, don't you?
I think so.
So Myers back to Heppel. Just untidy, North, haven't they? They've been untidy for a lot of the night. A lot of their kicks into the forward 50 have been really disappointing. Gee, Brad Scott have been shattered with what he's seen so far tonight. I mean, they're still in the match. Grimer makes up for a bit of it. Toe pokes it back to Mullet. They haven't won an opening round match under Brad Scott, by the way. They're 0-4 going in. Most of those games have been pretty close ones. So much talked about North this season. Good kick, well weighted. Adams getting amongst it a bit. That's good. Thomas inside the 50, gets a good ride on it. That's a good kick. He's kicked 4. They've needed something a little X-factory, and he provides it.
That will be a finalist in goal of the year right there. 5th game of the season, isn't it? 6th.
He's playing a lone hand, isn't it?
It hasn't been a mundane 4 goals. I mean, that's just an unbelievable snapshot, and he's taken the 4 contested marks, so he certainly earned his goals.
And when you activate a sub, you really want them to get involved in the game as quickly as they can, and that's exactly what Adams has been able to do. He's given them some real grunt in their midfield. He's already had 4 touches.
I feel like they're close enough, Dan. I reckon they're close enough now, don't you?
Well, they go in spurts. That's in keeping with the game. But it is a handy lead. I wouldn't mind it at 3/4 time. We're almost there now. Watson in trouble. Brilliant. Ryder. Zach Merritt is a left footer. Oh, and Mullet was well aware of that. Well played. Zaharakis back towards Mullet. Over the top comes Merritt. Zach in the back, says the umpire. Zach in the back.
Late goal here for North would be huge. I agree with you, Bruce. They're close enough. They certainly haven't played their best football, but 3 goals in it at 3/4 time.
That was terrific by Mullet. Chasing the first gamer and knew exactly where he was going.
In the ground.
Hang on, umpire Dalziel having something to say.
Greater advantage. He's pushing the ground. Can they do it?
I think it's Petrie and Ryder at centre half forward. A little altercation. Here we are. So that could be a big free kick.
Silly. So Mullet, who can kick a long way too. Man on the mark is standing about 55 metres out. This not beyond him. He's breathing heavily. Will he just set it up or will he go for home? He gives it a ride. That is a massive kick. Massive right to the line. And Carlisle goes up and takes the mark a metre out. Well, Mullet backed himself and he wasn't wrong by too much.
Gee, North Melbourne's tool players have been disappointing in the high marks tonight. You think about the only bloke that's looked like taking a mark is Thomas in terms of their forward line structure. Fletcher, the switch up. Here is young Merritt. I say they're close enough. Think about what's happened in this opening round. Last quarters, teams have been able to kick 6 or 7 goals against the opposition. Teams have slowed with the interchanges, maybe, all of that. Not sure exactly why, but if North can hold it to here, you feel they can springboard. An Essendon goal here, though, makes life even more difficult. They've been the better team for most of the night, the Bombers. They've got a handy lead. Carlisle doing a good job. Ambrose in the front spot. Howlett just couldn't quite. Dalsando, Harvey, Atley just went without it. Harvey tries to get it back on a boundary throw in.
We just haven't seen it from North so far. They haven't shown anything to suggest they've got that real run in their legs. So the Bombers would have to stop, but they're certainly close enough to turn the tide.
We'll be talking to Brad Scott at 3/4 time.
Dalsando wide of the pack. McKenzie, Zeeble hurriedly down towards half forward. Hardingham did brilliantly. That was a wonderful half volley. Still under pressure, the Bombers, though. Hurley went to ground. Well played, Thomas. McMahon across to right. The run comes from Del Santo. Run down from behind, but not before he got a hand pass to Harvey. Harvey goes in short and finds Evans. Back to Harvey. 25 seconds on the clock. Boomer bounces one down towards full forward. He's celebrating. Can't believe it. Rushed to the goalpost. The fat bit. He can't believe it either. But the goal umpire was right there.
And they're calling for the handball from a set shot 40 metres out.
Yeah.
That,
Adams should have gone back, I reckon. Yeah. As Tim said, Adams has had an impact. Grimer and Ryder push out, free kick to the Bombers. Danaher, Heppel, big night again for Heppel. He's well into the 20s. As Dennis said, he averages over 20 a match, so good quarter. Bombers got a good lead, but you feel like North are close enough to make it.
Well, the margin was 20 points at the long break. Essendon, after a quarter, which they looked like they were going to get right away from North Melbourne, now lead by 21 points, and North Melbourne certainly very much still in this game. The leaders really need to have to come to the surface in this last quarter, don't they?
Well, it is. It's all about leadership. And Brad, there's nothing Brad Scott can do up in the box now. I mean, he can give a message at three-quarter time, but it really is up to the leaders on all lines to make sure that they have that composure, they get control of the ball, and then use it well.
We're about to be joined by Brad Scott. Brad, what was the message there at three-quarter time?
Oh, that we've had a really good pre-season in terms of condition. So, you know, I'm confident the guys have got the run in their legs. We've been really ordinary to this point. So, you know, I think we put a few things in place that we've been talking about. We've got the run in our legs to come home strong.
Brad, obviously difficult from the box, but it's about the team leaders now. It's having a little bit of composure on the ground and getting control of the footy again.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been really badly beaten in uncontested possession and contested possession. So we've got to get our hands on the ball. When we've had our hands on the ball, we've been okay, but, you know, we've got to win in the contest. That's where footy starts.
Confident in their fitness?
Absolutely.
Good luck.
Good luck.
So, Tom, who are those leaders? I mean, who does Brad look for here?
Well, I think, the game breakers, Del Santo, Zeeble, but Petrie and Wells are the ones. I think, as Brad Scott touched about, they've got to get the ball out in space. They've got to win it in the contest, but then use their fitness. And they need a big target to kick to. Petrie's been absolutely dominated by Cale Hooker. 13 marks to Hooker, only 2 to Petrie. So he's the one up forward that really needs to stand up.
And 3 of the 4 you mentioned, Tom, starting in the centre square right here. Opening bats final term, 21 points the difference. Bombers on top. Knocked down by Ryder. He waited for it. Knocked forward by Hocking inside the forward 50. Over the top, knocked away by Grimer. Awkward bouncing football. Chapman the first to arrive. Feeds it nicely on the bounce to Jackson Merritt. It was touched off the boot. Watson launches himself. Got his fingertips to it. Lurking behind Mullet to Zeeble. Tackle. Well done by young Ambrose. In goes Watson. Hit that pack hard. Look at him burrow. Down he goes. But where there's a will, he can make a couple of metres, and he did that. My word, he's impacted this game with biblical force, Joe Watson, tonight. 74-53, and a chance for Essendon to get the early goal. Del Santo hurriedly out of the defensive 50. Heppel tracks it towards the boundary.
That's one of those for North Melbourne. Wells has to get into the game, and Hockey's got control of him. Just how you position the pair. I'd be trying to get Wells out on the wing or something, out in space. When they're close in the packs, I think Hocking's strength just stops him in his tracks.
We just saw then Lee just belted him off the ball, didn't he? And then gets the ball back to Hibbert. Hibbert to load up. This is where Essendon have been dangerous through their aerial ability. Well done, Grimer, because Danaher was lurking. Chapman reads it so well. I think he was out before kicking the ball and a boundary throw in. So big test here for, well, both clubs. I mean, Essendon through the ringer in the last 24 hours, but they're used to that, aren't they? And for North, so much expectation coming into this season. All those narrow defeats last year. Banking on a fast start this year. Here is Worrells and Hocking, but Myers down low, Del Santo, Merritt, Heppel just keeps getting the ball. Back to Merritt, back to Hibbert, sweeps it to Myers, squeezed up, little kick forward, Heppel flew hard, Stanton read it best, flattens the ball to full forward, Danaher at the back, belts it away, young McDonald, first game for Luke, gets something on that. Zeeble and Watton, good mark. Gee, a bit of strength there. And they've gone toe-to-toe. It's been fascinating to see them. Zeeble, careful kick. Can North break the line? Can they get this opening goal? McKenzie's been quiet. Poor kick.
Merritt read it off the boot, brilliantly done. To half forward, Danaher. Nobody forward for the Bombers. Vacant goal square, so he just chips inside the forward 50. Zaharakis, well, that made it hard. That hurt as well. Hocking gets it from Danaher. Great pressure came down there from Harvey. Took the man down. Heppel goes into that pack ambitiously. Strong tackle on Merritt again. That was Zach, as distinct from Jackson. Jackson's had a good night. Zach getting busy. Ball to be thrown up right on the line of the 50. Couple of Bombers up. Now they've been, I was going to say penalised, but they haven't been. Shepherding was the call there against them, was it? I thought they both went for the footy. Anyway, Ryder's got the kick, and it comes to Jackson Merritt.
How does he set it up here? Carlisle's in the goal square, and he kicks towards Carlisle. Big fly, Carlisle at the back, fends off, left foot. And Chapman running the handball, and he misses a lot. So just the one behind it, Carlisle, but he's an imposing figure.
Cunnington is back in the game too. He had the concussion test. He's obviously passed. He's satisfied everybody that he's fit to be out there again. And Adams.
Well, Gibson coughed it up. Chapman got it from Carlisle, gives it to Watson, and Watson goes bang. And the Bombers pinch a big break. Well, North have been so frustrating to watch tonight. I mean, if you're a North Melbourne supporter or their coaching staff, you'd be thinking, what the heck's going on here? And that was just slack at the back, wasn't it? He's had a wonderful night, Watson. Probably one of the best games he's ever played. That's saying something, I reckon. He's played a lot of good games.
Joe Watson up to 30 possessions now.
Bad turnover, that one, isn't it?
And that shouldn't happen. I mean, regardless of an uncontested handball to Chapman and then to Watson in your defensive 50 is just unacceptable.
Ryder got it on the way down. Coming out backwards was Howlett.
Come on.
The umpire will do it again. His personal best against North Melbourne, Joe Watson, 36, round 14 of 08. Ryder in front. Again, got first hand to it. Stanton with the outside of the boot sends it down towards half forward. Coming up was Carlisle. Mullet went strongly as well. Carlisle tried to get a hand pass. Then goes Goddard, picked up by Heppel. Just flicked on by Hocking. Down goes Stanton. Goldstein did well. This is McKenzie weaving his way through. Probing kick inside the forward 50, but Hardingham, who started on the forward line to good effect, has now gone back, and he finds Hooker. He's a tall man, but he's a link man coming out, Hooker. So often he's the guy on the end of the short pass. Along the boundary line, this one went out. Kick coming from Merritt. We'll have a boundary throw in.
I like Hardingham on Thomas, by the way. I mean, he's the one bloke you reckon Thomas is not going to mark over in a one-on-one, isn't he? I mean, he's Thomas is. Didn't think we'd be saying his strength was his high marking, but it has been tonight. And Hardingham looks a good match for that. He's in good nick, Hardingham, tonight. Cunnington, as Tim said, back on. Can't get the handball clear of Myers, though. And then belted down. Howlett's been good in traffic. Watson's been magnificent. And a boundary throw in.
And he's now got the thirst foot in the air, Thomas. None of his other big fours, Petrie and Black, really haven't been able to get it. So I think he reckons if it's in the air, I'm flying. So Hardingham's a good matchup.
So that one arm of Goldstein, Adams ripped off it. Zeeble and Cunnington. Zaharakis back to Cunningham. Well done by Howlett. Well done, though, by the Kangaroos. Adams, but cut off by Hurley. He's been good. Belts the ball high. Danaher and Carlisle, and at the back Hanson. Rather, it was Ambrose and Danaher. And at the back Hanson belts it in. North just can't score. 8 goals, not going to get the job done. deep into the last quarter.
Boundary throw in. Holstein in front. Thompson. All he does is win as a coach in recent times, despite the break. It is like riding a bike. Mullet. Give it across to McDonald. Kicks it up towards the wing. The Harding hand. Body to body is a strong body. Used it to advantage there, then peeled off at the last minute. Took the mark against Thomas. Here's Hibbert. Hibbert runs through midfield. He's trying to get the ball down there to Stanton. Launches himself against two of them. Knocked away by Thompson. Zach Merritt. Hot hand pass to Danaher. Out on the boundary. Puts it out of bounds on the full.
I've just been watching Goldstein a little bit. I don't think I've ever seen anyone on the field with such a damaged
So
left arm. I mean, he's just hanging his left arm by his side. I'm showing enormous courage still to be out there.
And the bloke was saying that's got his arm in a sling at the moment. Heppel, Stanton. How is your arm, Lee, by the way?
Not as bad as Goldstein's.
Heppel short. Goddard swings and then gets something on that. Going back and... Oh!
Again.
Wow. He's done it again. Danaher.
Is that a cheeky grin as well? Have a look at this.
He just looks like he loves playing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and he's just got such, overt enthusiasm.
We talked about Van. That was Carey-like, I reckon. That was the king at his best. He's going to be something, isn't he?
Yeah.
Probably is already. Well, this is just about ISIL, you'd think. He's kicked a goal. He's taken a couple of fantastic marks. He's had a good night, hasn't he? Look at that exuberation, eh? That's fantastic.
He shouldn't jump too high. He'll never get a high five in his life. He sort of jumps up and has to drop it down at waist level.
What do you think, Lee? What do you think of him?
Oh, no, he's an enormous talent. I mean, again, I don't think he can carry a forward line because he's still very light, but what he seems to be able to do for a young 200-centimetre tall, I mean, yeah, just the future's enormous.
Oh, both sensational marks. What do you think, Wayne? What do you think of those marks?
So that's what you love to see in a footballer, isn't it? A guy that keeps his eye on the footy and just runs back with a flight. Last person to do that is Jonathan Brown.
Margin 33 points. All squirts out. Zach Merritt to Watson. He was tackled down. Comes back towards him. Myers is in there. He's been a handy player tonight. McMillan, one of the best for North. Fed it back. Getting it out there was McDonald. Adams had a half chance. Now Danaher is well up the ground. He's on the wing. Tries to slap it forward, going nowhere. Myers. Watson feeds it back this time. Chapman got it from Heppel. Zach Merritt. Hardingham stood up in the tackle. Comes back to him. An involuntary action. He knocks it away. Heppel. Well, could get a whistle there. Nothing doing. No free kick for Thomas. Sliding into his Bagley. Meantime, Hardingham gives it to Jackson Merritt. He comes along the boundary line and leading back in the race is Hansen. But he can't get there. It was a loose ball to be won, but the boundary line was too near.
So left ankle there for Carlisle, just the strap up there. There's Danaher again. I mean, Jonathan Brown's not a bad analogy either from the duck. So Ryder at the back. Heard the umpy. Hocking had to wait and then brought down. Everything's accentuated in round one. I mean, the losers seem to be terrible. The winners seem to be terrific. But you feel like this is a really bad night for North Melbourne and a very good night for Essendon.
Yeah, structurally, North Melbourne are clearly a tall down. They haven't been able to provide support to Goldstein, and they've been found wanting in the key offensive post as well. So they need to find another option there. Majak Dor, potentially Robbie Tarrant's out injured. Just one short.
Cunnington's quick kick to centre wing.
In front right. Hardingham not in the backs of the umpire, or he didn't say anything actually. Hurley grabs it, kicks inside the forward 50. Back goes McDonald again. Claimed by Goddard, eventually releases the football. Trying to go around the boundary, Atley. Howlett grabs it, gives it across towards Ambrose, running out of space, gets boot to ball, but around the corner and straight to Thompson. Joint best and fairest last year to Mullet in the opposite pocket. Adams breaks for him, he's got it now. Atley sets off on a run. He'll get it next. Yep. The stretch just outside the defensive 50. 53 plays, 86. The Bombers in control. Adams running hard. Sends it up towards the wing, taken by Harvey. Intent on drawing a man. Bagley came to him. Adams virtually, he's run 2/3 of this oval, and now the ball goes out of bounds at right half forward, so he can take a breather and regroup for the boundary throw-in.
Rowan White from Triple N. Tell us about Goldstein. Lee talked about he's never seen a bloke like it. What's his situation, do you reckon?
Yeah, Bruce, look, he seems to be quite impaired with that left shoulder. It's a tendon injury to the top of his shoulder, and you can see now he's not using his left arm to tap. He's using his non-preferred right, so we're keeping a close eye on him.
It's just the second time they've been inside the forward 50 in the last quarter, North, and it's going to come out really quickly. Him, but it may come back, floating the ball forward. McKenzie with a long ball to fall, or rather McDonald with a long ball to fall forward and off. And so off target, I should say, and out of bounds. Bouncing inside the field of play. Harvey just copping a spray there. He's had plenty of those over the years.
Fletcher, quick hands. Watson, Myers. They run in a straight line. There's Heppel against the boundary line. Hanson applying the pressure. Heppel too nimble. Gets the kick away. Goddard a good mark. In fact, it's Howlett. Howlett taking that one close to the boundary. Just looking at those figures in possessions. North Melbourne 234. Essendon 386. So 152 more possessions for Essendon. Oh, getting very high was Goddard. Mullet. Cunnington sold into trouble now. Atley just dropped it. Should have been an Essendon free kick. Del Santo did well. McMillan, Atley, Thompson, back to Atley. Hard against the boundary line, sends it down towards half forward. Goes very close to the boundary and bounces out. What an imbalance in possessions, Bruce.
Absolutely, Dennis. I mean, right from the word go, basically. They haven't scored in this final term, North. They haven't looked like scoring, to be honest. There's Goldstein. Just wonder about the damage in terms of the next few weeks. Heppel, over 30 disposals for the 4th time in his career. Great mark by Ambrose. Running onto it, Chapman. He's had a big night, Chappie. One bounce. Bang! He's got 4, just as he did for Geelong the last time he played for them. Well, you couldn't think of a better debut, could you? At 32 years of age, you come to a club, they give you another lifeline, you've won 3 premierships, and you're an instant hero. You're there.
They put a bit of experience around the competition. Potsy Adley obviously has gone to the Adelaide Crunch. First year at your club as a 32-year-old. It's a new world, isn't it?
Yep.
New world of footy.
It's great, Lee, though, isn't it?
Well, Brian Lake was given the opportunity at Hawthorn last year, won the Norm Smith medal.
Well, the Bombers have found a new hero, Paul Chapman. So much of a footy. 39 points the difference now. Slapped down by Danaher doing the rucking. Zaharakis still inside the centre square. The mark is taken by McKenzie. McKenzie just drops it out wide. Del Santo. So Chapman 21 possessions now with his 4 goals.
And Dan, you asked at the start of the night who would get the goals for the Bombers. Well, Chappie's put his hand up.
I forgot about him. A proven goal kicker. There's Thompson. Very short again to Harvey. What a resume he brings, Chapman. Best and fairest for the Cats in 2006. Norm Smith in 09. Twice All-Australian. 3 premierships. Harvey, long down towards full forward. Going back, Grimer. Danaher did well. Although, it doesn't matter much now, I don't think. This game, unless they really can find something, North Melbourne are gone for all money. 92 plays 54. And whatever they might do would have to happen quickly. Hooker to Fletcher. Heppel just never stops running.
No, he's been wonderful, hasn't he? His career high is 36, and he's closing in on that. They've had all the good players, though, when you think about it, haven't they?
Yeah, all the big numbers are Essendon's way. Obviously, they've had so much weight of ball in hand.
I mean, the Duck's going to give his best 5 during this last quarter. I don't reckon there's going to be a North Melbourne player amongst them. And if there is, we'll have to get the stewards in, I think, Dan.
I reckon he'll try.
Lindsay Thomas has been good. I mean, he's been a lone lie, but I don't think he'll slip into the top 5 players on the field.
Voice of reason, Tom, isn't it? Merritt's kicked to centre wing. Ambrose Attlee. Well done, Ambrose. Good contest. Zeeble fended off too high. And Watson, who I reckon is going to get the 3 Brownlow votes.
Just on a side, you think Bomber Thompson would be a fan of the father-son rule. He had some rippers at Geelong in Ablett, Scarlett and Hawkins, and he's got Fletcher, Watson and now Danaher at his disposal. He won't want that rule changed in a hurry.
You're not allowed to smile, Bomber. Do you think his life's changed in the last 24 hours about his
his tenure? The fact that there's only 1 year might be not as certain.
Howlett to fall forward. Bouncing. Goddard's had a big night as well. 3 for Goddard. Oh, what a night for the Bombers, eh?
It's interesting, Bruce. It was in the pre-game interview with Bomber. He was emphatic. He said, "I've got between 22 and 25 games, and that's all I've got." And that's been a consistent message in conversation, socially or with the media. He's certainly not looking beyond.
Well, he was a coach who decided that he didn't want to coach anymore, and he's exactly the right man to take over Essendon for 12 months. But I don't think he's got any feeling about he wants to do any more than that.
No.
So who's more valuable, do you think? Dalsanto or Chapman? Nick there, great player for the Saints. Chappie, of course, and an even more successful team for Geelong. They went stride for stride on the MCG in the last Saturday in September, those guys.
Petrie knocks it back, stolen away by Watson. Watson, a long ball inside the forward 50. Got out again. And he misses this time to the right.
So I like this. I like Goddard and Watson rotating out of the square when they've got a bit of time to spell.
Oh, Stanton well played. Forced to spoil. Hand passes to a dangerous situation. Attlee, though, was okay. Gibson, rarely sighted. McMillan, who's been good. Handsome. Straight to Chapman. He wanted to kick another one. He was dragged down. The hand pass came from a tired Grimer to Attlee. Mullet brings it away. Adams takes the mark. He's at left half back. Run from behind the mark, provided by McDonald. Here's Attlee again. Runs to midfield. Hardingham goes back with courage. Finds it on the ground too. To Watson. Hurley. Back to Watson. Making his own arrangements. Zaharakis running past his Heppel. Give it to him. Heppel needs a bounce to kick a goal. Well, he's forced to run away from goal. Hooks it back. Intended, I think, for the youngster Ambrose, but Mullet read it best off the boot and takes the defensive mark.
So North just the one behind in this final turn. It's been pedestrian, hasn't it? Dalsanto, Watson, Adams, Harvey, Black. Haven't seen much of him tonight. Just that one goal. Petrie's been very quiet. Here's Dalsanto. Kicked a clever goal early. Normally so constructive over the top. McKenzie, good kick, we know that. Kicks to full forward, and he is a good kick, so at long last, a goal in the final turn. But they're not going to get a whole lot out of this tonight from a positive point of view.
Talk about Bomber Thompson just being the one-year replacement. That's only happened. Alan Joyce did that in 1988 for Alan Jones. Hasn't happened since, has it? Like,
not that
he won a premiership in 1988.
He did, and then came back, of course, in '91. But no, I reckon. I mean, Bomber's probably about where Alan Joyce was there, wasn't he?
Come in here, guys.
When you read the history of Alan Joyce, it is quite remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, filled in for Alan Jones in '88, won the flag, came back in '98, won the flag, and that's where Bomber Thompson's at the moment with Essendon in the fill-in spot.
Well, Joyce was insecure in his job. Here goes Myers, kicks inside the forward 50. From behind, Thompson did pretty well. Gibson, Thompson comes again. Back to Gibson. Up to the defensive 50. High ball towards the wing. Camped in front, Bagley knocked it down. Del Santo tackled by Jackson Merritt. Bagley, Hurley, Carlisle, Zaharakis forward of the wing. Awkward one for Hocking. Had to get down and find it. They've got the help though. Merritt goes all the way back to Bagley, and they will build again.
Might have to swap camps, I reckon. Hurley does look better down back.
Yeah.
He's been terrific tonight. I mean, it's only one. It's the best I've ever seen him play in defence. He looks really comfortable there, doesn't he?
19 possessions for Hurley now. There's Watson.
Seems like he plays with more. Sorry, Dennis, more control down there.
Got his personal best against North Melbourne now, Watson. He's up to 37. Here's Bagley. It's a powerful kick across the ground. Stanton. The runners with the Bombers. There's evidence there. Hardingham just peeled away from Thomas. They were close, and suddenly Hardingham found 5 metres. There's Chapman. Oh.
Noticeable limp.
Could be a dark line into the silver cloud as the ball goes towards the outer side, off hands and out of bounds.
He's had some hammy problems late in his career at Geelong, didn't he? Back hamstring, correct?
Yeah, only played a handful of games last year, and that was the physical concern, I think, that Geelong had with Chappie. Obviously not his talent, but just his durability.
More than 42,000 tonight, so good home crowd for North, but nothing else to smile about, really. Stanton, Hibbert to centre-half forward. Danaher, gee, that's almost a terrific mark. Belts the ball out. Well done by Hocking. Howlett back to Adams. McMillan caught. Good tackle. Hurled up by Myers. Back to Merritt. Back to Watson. So Watson getting close to that 41. His career high. Hocking switching. Goddard. And Goddard back and gets to Zach Merritt. Just thinking about Goddard. Even though he won the best of Ferris last year, I don't reckon he was as good as he was in that really big year at St Kilda, but I get the feeling that he might be getting back to where he really was 3 years ago. I reckon he's played better tonight than he did last year when he won the best in Ferris. Heppel, Cunnington, Merritt. Mark taken by Myers.
He's played well too, Myers. Missed a fair bit of the pre-season. Didn't see much of him in the no challenge. Out against the boundary line. Oof, jumping early was Goddard. He's got the feel. It's pulsating through his veins. Adams to Mullett. Mullett runs away from defence and gets it out wide. On the stretch, Gibson goes all the way back to Mullett, who in turn goes to Del Santo. 2 plays 1, and the 2 prevail. So Mullett again bounces up towards the wing. There's hardly any movement. Spotted Adams out of the corner of his eye. Adams goes short. Harvey comes to meet the ball, goes back to Adams. He's provided some run, the sub, as he kicks it across the ground. Up in front, missing the football was Zeeble. He dives after it. And that ball eventually releases, sort of. Bagley stood up in a tackle. Zach Merritt with the outside of the boot sends it towards the wing. Goddard is pushed up. Goes all the way back to Heppel. And Heppel now is up to 36.
Which I think equals his career high, Den, off the top. It does, so he's at a career high. Wayne, there's Chapman. We're about to get Wayne's top 5. Go for it, Wayne.
Yeah, well, Bruce, as we said before, and as you can see there on the screen, Joe Watson easily leads the votes at this point. Chapman second, Goddard, Heppel and Lindsay Thomas getting a few votes for the Kangaroos.
So do you reckon Wayne's got it right? Jump on and let us know. Watson, Chapman, Goddard, Heppel and Thomas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's know if you agree with Wayne.
Told you we'd find one.
You were right again.
High. Free kick back, it's high. Time back on.
So Bastinet.
Move it on.
Remarkable resilience by Essendon. I mean, we talked about the last 24 hours. Last year, every Friday night, it seemed early in the year that they were under pressure with the supplement saga.
It's intangible, the personal development a lot of these players have gone through. None more so than Joe Watson, and his game tonight has just been...
And Lee made the point pre-match. I mean, they were 13-3 last year going into round 18 or 17, and they were fighting for top spot. We forget how good they were.
What they had the last 3 years, they've been outstanding in the first half of the year, and then they've faded a little bit late. But like they've been tonight, they've been very good in the early part of the last few seasons.
I think Bombers brought a recliner there. There's Thompson, Reimer, close to the boundary line. Thompson can't keep it in, so we'll have a throw in. So Heppel has equalled his personal best. No, in fact, he's passed it now. He's up to 37. Sorry, Bruce, you didn't say that. I was just looking at his previous personal best against Melbourne. Mark Neild's Melbourne, round 2 last season. So I reckon this one counts for more anyway, and he's got a bigger number. Just a player who continues to evolve. Just outstanding. McMillan. Chance for Wells. Atley was involved, and now it's Harvey. Scoots through the centre square. Low down, the mark is taken by Hooker. So much of the football for Hooker too tonight. Up to 26.
Just to highlight how little of the ball North Melbourne have had yet to hit 300 possessions. They were over 300 every game last year. They just haven't been able to get their hands on the footy. Extraordinary, the lack of possession for North Melbourne.
Lindsay Thomas intercepting that kick from Stanton. It's kick 4, which equals his best against Essendon. And on the mark is standing right beside the numbers. Kick is on the way, and he's pulled it across the face of goal, about 5 metres out. Carlisle as easy as you like.
It's been at both ends, hasn't it? Fletcher appropriately late. Ball in hand. How's that? You couldn't stage manage it, could you? The oldest bloke in 87 years to play the game. 22 record seasons. Ball in hand, team win. Doesn't get better than that. Tell you what,
he's got the footy.
Timmy, he's got the footy. They've had some good nights, the Bombers. You know what? This is one of the best nights they've had, I reckon. This has been a great night for the club.
It certainly has. And Chappie, first of all, I'm going to ask you about your injury. Is it anything serious or just a bit of a knock?
Just a bit of a knock, nothing serious. Just didn't want to risk anything, with a few minutes to go. So everything will be fine next week.
Enjoy that.
Awesome. What a great game. The boys, our pre-season form wasn't great, and we just put the acid on each other to come out and play for the team and had some real care for each other. And look, it showed. Kangaroos are a great team. They're going to be good this year, and I don't know. It's just a good way to start the season.
How long did it take you to become a crowd favourite down at Geelong?
It took me a long time. Yeah.
Do you think you're there already?
I don't know. It's nice to be cheered every time I touch the ball.
You look like you're really comfortable out there tonight, though. You seem to really understand your teammates around you, and you haven't been there for that long.
No, it took a little while pre-season, sort of in and out of the games a little bit, but, I think we're very predictable to one another tonight, and, it makes it easier for everyone to get the ball and do their job, and I think everyone did it well.
And I guess the message from Bomber Thompson was pretty predictable too tonight.
Very predictable, win your own ball, get in hard, outnumber, just the same old, and the boys did it really well.
Well done, it's a great debut for the Bombers tonight.
Thank you.
And he's terrific, Chappie. Really, really big impact right from the gun. There he is, Bomber. I mean, Tom, you were premiership captain under him. I mean, you know what he brings to a club, how he can build. It's just a perfect start, isn't it?
He's got really clear expectations, and Chappie hit the nail on the head. You have to win the ball on the inside, and you've got to work for one another, get more numbers around the contest, and I'm sure Fletcher's heard it all before.
Tim, he's won 223 games now, Dustin Fletcher, equal to Simon Madden, 223 games.
Fletcher, that win tonight, does it still mean as much to you to win a game of football as what it always did?
Oh, it does, no doubt. And we had a few milestones tonight, obviously, but just the way the boys play as a team, it sounds pretty simple, but everyone does their job. Most of the time you end up winning.
Just talking to some of the players during the week, they said that the acid had been put on you a little bit during the pre-season. You've responded, and they thought you're in probably the best form you've been in for a few years.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that's right. I think Bombers come, and I've done a fair bit of the work, to be honest, probably more than I usually do. But and I've been playing on Paddy Ambrose, who can run like a machine. So it's been good for me, and it's a good start to the year.
That's a great defensive effort against a very high-scoring attacking side tonight too.
Yeah, and that's what we're all about. Defence, wins games, and Bombers been big on that, and they've only kicked 60 points.
How will you celebrate tonight?
Oh, we're going to recovery tomorrow and then train again Sunday, but I'll sneak a few in with the boys.
And Mum and Dad here tonight?
Yeah, all the family here, so the kids, Susie, they're all here, so they'll be pretty happy.
Well done.
Thanks, Tim.
Hey, Timmy, you played with his father, didn't you?
Yes, I did, Kenny, many years ago, and I tell you what, Kenny was one of the great competitors I ever saw at the Essendon Football Club. He loved the Essendon Football Club, and really very proud parent he is to have Dustin and what he's been able to achieve.
Hey, Tim, speaking of proud parent, your son's not far away. Could you grab him? I mean, he played a pretty good game, Joe Watson.
Okay, I'll see if I can.
Good on you. Good on
he
you,
generally
mate.
talks to me.
Here's Tim with his son Joe, who was so good again tonight.
Well, Joe, that's a great way to start the season.
Yeah, it's important. Huge game for the club. One of, I think, the greatest players to ever put on the Guernsey to break Simon Madden's record. And just, I mean, any round one game is important, but you know, I felt as if our pre-season form hadn't been as good as what we would have liked. But we probably changed a little bit of our pre-season through February and early March. And I just thought some of the young kids today were fantastic.
And the forward line looked actually quite potent tonight too, and it hadn't been the case during the pre-season.
Yeah, no, look, I don't think the midfield had given the forwards the supply that you know, that any forward likes, but we made a conscious effort to try and get the ball in quick and give these young, talented guys a chance. But I thought the ground level pressure from you know, Chappie, Benny Howlett, Zaka, even the big guys defended really well, and that was the key to it.
And Paul Chapman, what a great debut for the club tonight.
Fantastic. That's what happens when you get a three-time premiership player, Norm Smith medalist, knows how to play the game.
Well done, enjoy.
Thank you. Do you want my sacks?
No, you can keep it.
Great stuff. Hey, Tim, while you're talking to Joe, we just saw some great scenes with Mason and Max, the sons of Dustin Fletcher. I mean, they're big enough to carry their old man off.
Yeah, they are, and Dustin thinks one of those boys might be okay too. I won't say which one, but they're just chanting Fletcher, Fletcher, Fletcher down here. And the Bomber fans, you've got to be down here to believe how much they're enjoying this, Bruce.
Well, it's one of the great nights in a great club's history, I reckon. It really is. It's right up there. It doesn't get a lot better than this, except for the last Saturday in September. It's good stuff, Lee, isn't it?
It's a great celebration, yeah. He's just been such a pivotal part of that club for as long as we can remember.
He's everything you love in a sportsman too, isn't he?
Got a feeling he wouldn't have given. There's a sort of coaching principle. You spend 90% of time on 10% of your players. I don't reckon you'd spend much time on Dustin Fletcher. No. I think he just goes and plays his footy, no trouble, just does everything right.
Well, what a night for the mate. Everything they wanted to get out of this night, they've been able to achieve. Their recruits played well, old and new. Their champions rose to the challenge. And this man here, no one's played as many seasons ever. 22, he's the oldest man in 87 years to play the game at this level. It's quite remarkable. And the new boys in the middle.